streaming it. Yo, we live. Good morning from Brooklyn. I thought it'd be appropriate to start off with the video we ended yesterday. This is Erik Otto, Hotline Erik Otto, and I realize not a lot of you have seen this video. This is Erik playing the drum. He's right into his own, how do they say it? He's right into the beat of his own drum. Erik is in the chat. Erik is here. He's live in his studio. I'm live in my studio. We're gonna do a little hangout, a little chat.
Here we go.
Erik's gonna give us a little tour of his studio and some of the work he's been working on. Maybe he'll even show us how to hit that drum of his. We ended the video yesterday, the morning routine with this video. Good way to start the video. Before we get Erik in here, I got a couple of little updates and announcements concerning the Teespring merch. We got some face masks in there. Also got some updates on Hotline stickers, again, in the Big Cartel store. I started the pre-order for the Zine. Black and white Zine is available for pre-order, and there's a limited amount of 4x6s that will go in with every order, and some other goodies, stickers and stuff, for anyone who chooses to pre-order. Bada boom. Let me skip right through this.
Yo, what's up?
All right, so this is
Erik Otto.
This is a rough
Hanging
cut.
out by the trash can. We're in Manhattan, just south of the park. And yeah.
Where are we gonna go?
We're gonna get our ride on. We're gonna go south and we're gonna find a park, another park. Park to park, and kind of flow, lean with it, chill, have good times.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about your bike.
Bought this bike off Chris Six. It's an old Italian steel track frame, running 48, 18. It's nothing special, but it's been with me for so long. It's traveled all over the place.
What's the name of the bike?
Giordana. Fergus's wheel set. It's sort of a mix and match of everyone's old stuff they didn't want.
Sick.
Yeah,
Should we do this then?
I think so. Got our coconut water. All right.
Whoa, it's playing a little glitchy, eh? What's up with that? All right, so this is the beginning of Erik Otto's rough cut. I'm gonna pull him in here in a minute. I'm just gonna do a nice little fade and welcome you guys to my studio. That's the end of that video. We might wrap with that video. I need to find out why it's playing like this. Who remembers this view and this microphone? This is the original live stream setup from the studio. I'm back in the similar format. It's a little bright. The sun just came out, so it really messed up all my lighting. But here I am again at my desk with a camera and a coffee, a couple computers. And we got Erik Otto on the horn. I'm about to drop him in, but before I do that, I just want to show you guys a few things. First of all, let me pull this computer over here. Scoot this over here. Forgive me while I get comfortable with this new setup. It's been a while, so. I would like to show you guys the new stuff that is in Teespring. And funny that we have Erik here today. It just went live yesterday, and Erik helped design some of this stuff. So we're gonna open this up. I'm also gonna do this. All right. So we got a couple new things in the Teespring store that I wanted to share real quick. Somebody mentioned they wanted some face masks, so we have face masks. Where are they? Why are they not showing? Strange that they don't show yet. Here we go, right here. We got these Hotline face masks. They're more like, they're not face masks, they're neck gaiters, but you know, similar to a bandana or a beanie. Erik tried to go with more of a, you know, a design that wasn't so loud Hotline, but there is a Hotline logo on this one. And we had to make, there's something glitchy about Teespring where I had to make a t-shirt. And anyways, here is the other one. It's the kind of the new, Erik has been working on helping me with a mark for a Hotline that it's recognizable, that would relate to Hotline without seeing the logo. That's kind of what this is here. So shout out to Erik for helping with this stuff. And then the other thing I wanted to show is some new stuff with Big Cartel real quick before I get Erik in here. Since I don't have Hotline stickers in stock, all I have are these guys right now. As you can see, can you see? Look, it focuses on my head because it's a photo of my head. All I have is these right now. I'm totally sold out. I shipped everything out yesterday. Hopefully the mail isn't super slow, but every order has been shipped out. I will be sending an email out to a few people about being back ordered on some stuff. But what I wanted to show was my store, if I can get there. Here we go. I wanted to show this. This is, before we start this, this is all I have in the store right now. These are sold out, the stickers, but I have this zine that I've been working on. I showed you guys before. This is basically a pre-order that secures your zine. I'm only going to make a limited copy, and right now it's sitting just over 50 pages, and I'm getting ready to print, and I thought to help me finance the printing of this stuff, I would do a pre-order, and it's all black and white photos from the last 4 years in New York and traveling around. There's some San Francisco. I think there's some little bit of Japan, Russia. Anyways, a lot of street photography. And mostly this is shot with a Contax T2. Not that I don't think you guys really care. But anyone who orders this, I'm throwing in a 4x6 print as well with a couple other goodies. So that's available at the store right now. So enough of the crap and the bowl stuff. Let's get Erik in here. Let me figure out how to do that since I'm full screen. Get out. Mr. Erik Otto. We got Mr. Erik Otto on the horn here, and so Erik and I have known each other for a while, and we met through mutual friends, working relationship, and then I found out right away that he rode bikes, and I thought that was cool, and the stuff that he makes is cool, and he moved out to New York. I know him from San Francisco. He moved out to New York, I think a year after me, but I don't want to take too much from Erik's own introduction. I want him to introduce himself. I know a lot of you already know him, so let's go ahead and introduce Erik Otto here. What's up, Erik? We got you streaming live here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're here.
Okay. Wow, this is wild. This is wild. This is like, all right.
You're a little pixelated, but that's okay. It'll work itself out.
Okay. It'll work itself out.
Yeah, it should.
Just as we're all trying to do right
exactly.
now. Yeah, you make this look so easy. It's a little wild to be live, but thank you for having me.
Dude,
thanks everybody.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hell yeah.
Looking forward
making
to
it happen.
Looking forward to getting down to business and you showing us some of your stuff. So before we get to that, why don't you introduce yourself and just kind of tell everybody, who you are and what the hell you're all about, man. Come on.
Yeah. Normally don't talk. I let the work speak for itself. I'm an artist. I'm a visual artist. I'm a painter. I work mixed media, which is kind of a vague answer, but I primarily work with acrylics, enamels, spray paint, plaster. I've been working more into like sculptural work or introducing more three-dimensional materials into the work, and some of that even being neon lights, added neon lights, which I've been doing, but doing more so.
Yeah, I have one of those pieces at the house. I'm actually was told I need to bring it to the studio.
Okay.
Which might be better because I'll probably put it in the backdrop so people can see it in this situation. So that
would be tight. Yeah, you need
color.
To up the,
need a little color. I need to make
background.
it look like a YouTube stream background, like the YouTubers do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Other than that, it's about me, Terry. No.
Yeah. Come on. I mean, I was talking about your work, dude. Come on.
I'm based in Brooklyn, live in Bed-Stuy. I have a studio in Williamsburg that I'm fortunate to, have a private studio with my own door, my own bathroom, so it's safe for me to work. I ride my bike to the studio every day, don't even touch the ground. I'm from the Bay Area. I lived in San Francisco for 13 years before moving out here, and today, Terry and I chose today to film because it's my 3-year anniversary being here.
It's a huge deal, dude. 3 years,
it's a big
baby.
deal. Feels like 10.
That's crazy. That means I've been here going on 4 or 5. 4, right? Did you move a year after me or 2 years?
Closer to 2. So you might be 4.5.
Wow.
It
goes so
you don't
fast.
have it marked down? You
it goes so fast.
Anniversary birthday. Yeah.
It was June, the beginning of June is when I moved here. Yeah. So everyone is really familiar with your you're riding. We just played the hotline of you playing the drum and riding through traffic, and then I showed a little bit of the rough cut before I had some, I don't know, some weird streaming issues. It was kind of glitching, so we cut it short. Maybe we'll end with that video, but people know you're riding, and let's talk a little bit about that. Like, how did you get into riding?
Yeah. So typical kid, I feel in my neighborhood growing up, a lot of the kids around me, as well as I had an older brother who influenced, right? And it was all about BMX and trying to build sweet jumps and fuck around in the park. And then as I got older, I was one of those stubborn kids, or just, I don't know what it was. I just wasn't into the idea of getting my driver's license and getting a car and all that. So I held on to biking to get around as my main mode of transportation up until like, so I was like 18, 19. And then I think that was like college graduation. I needed a commuter car to get to school. I stayed with the folks through college, and I was driving, finally got a car then. But like after college, moved to San Francisco, and if like owning a car in the city, it's just wow, that sound. Dealing with parking is no fun. So I had a truck, and it made sense for the move. It made sense to move into a new studio to like gather supply. But then at a certain point, I stopped using it, and it just kind of was moving from street to street, collecting tickets. And and I was just like not making a whole lot of money to be even afford a car, to be honest. I was just like, the moment I finally had the chance to let it go, I did, and never looked back. And it was I had a bike at that time, but it was like some bullshit Craigslist purchase just to get around.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing other people riding bikes, not seeing their brake and wondering what the hell is going on. I was like, I don't know, 1 degree separation from a lot of people that were into bikes. For some reason, like art, creative community, and riding bikes just kind of go together. And I set out to get my first like Bianchi Pista.
Yeah.
Pista. And I remember I walked to the dude's house and I paid him the money. It was like $400 cash. And he was like an ex-messenger. It was like
Craigslist
all
stuff.
Dialed in, ready. Yeah. And he even asked, he's like, do you know how to ride one of these things? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I'll figure it out. I had never been on a fixed gear bike. Like I basically bought this bike, got on it, strapped in and everything, and was like heading from like downtown San Francisco back to the Mission, and was like, whoa, what the fuck? I felt like I was learning to ride a bike all over again. And that really stuck with me. And it was just kind of an incredible feeling. And, over the course of a few years and a few crashes later, mostly involving myself, I got the hang of it. And I was charging up the hills like the rest of them, and starting to really understand the flow to the sport, and the conditioning, how to get around in San Francisco with all them hills. And I kind of made it a thing like that. I try to live like a life with less stuff, but having a studio, you have to have supplies to make things. But more often than not, all my deliveries, all my pickups, all my drop-offs, everything I'm doing is if I can, I'm going to do it by bike. It's just something like, it's just for my own challenge and for my own interest. And even like if I'm going to have a show at a certain gallery, or if I'm going to paint a mural in a certain location, I make it a point to ride my bike to that location first, to just kind of get that introduction and feel of the surrounding environment. There's nothing like it, man. Like I'm talking, preaching to the choir here, but like,
yeah, you trying to convince me, dude?
Yeah, like what are we doing here? It's and it and it just like, it's infectious, man. You catch the you get bit by the bug, and then you meet more people through it. I've probably met more people from riding bikes than I have from painting paintings. Like artists tend to stick to themselves. They tend to like hole up in their studio, or they're socially awkward, or whatever it is, you can think of. But biking is just like, it's an even playing field. And whether you're an architect, a lawyer, or a messenger, or collecting cans, we're all riding bikes, so it's a great way to bring people together and experience the city like
I call it the great economic equalizer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people of all upbringings of wealth or money or not having or having, even if there's a lot of struggle, it's still an affordable, like people can get a bike, and it's a nice way to get around. You don't need a car. So it's like, it's like an enabler for freedom that everyone can obtain, no matter your wealth status, or, what am I trying to say? There's better words for it, but you get the idea.
Yeah, you don't have to even have a fancy bike, as long as the pedals kind of move the wheels, and you can go from there. And I love urban exploration. Like, I'm a big hiker, in the woods, but same thing in cities. And I'm the guy that
you're the guy in my fucking roof, dude. Get the hell off my roof, dude.
I climb, I hop fences. I've been known to do all those things. I just love like shit that's kind of like off to the public, or like out of sight, out of mind. And I feel like biking has opened up like more ways to see the city, and it's a lot quicker than walking. So that's why too.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we've talked about in the past how the speed and the visuals that you get, that you're digesting, I feel like it really helps influence a type of visual communicator, like a photographer or people who shoot video. There's a lot of people who have cycling backgrounds who kind of tend to go that way, and I think that it has to do with, because you're riding a bike, you see things at these different speeds, and you're just digesting them at a certain way. So you're just seeing a lot of stuff, and it makes you aware of how to, I don't know, take pictures or shoot video, or be an artist in a way. It's all kind of, there's like, like you said, architects, designers, like, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people in the arts who end up riding bikes or ride bikes and end up doing something in the arts.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like, going for a walk is cool. Like, you become aware of your surroundings, but at a certain point, there's like something safe in walking that you kind of like also tune out, and it can become meditative. But when you're riding a bike, like, let's be real, you kind of also have to watch out for your safety.
Yep.
So you're navigating where you're going, you're navigating the ever-changing like landscape. You become like hyper aware, and whether it's brakeless or not, like, you're in the zone. So things do feel a sense of more heightened.
You're paying attention.
And you're right.
You're paying attention. You're looking at side view mirrors. You're looking at people like
everybody's
delivery guys, like people walking between cars before they come. They're about to step out into the street. Like, you're really aware. That's right. I always forget to bring out the awareness part. It really heightens your awareness. And I'm always preaching to everyone on here about how it's like a gray area in New York riding your bike, and like, it's more important to be hyper aware of your surroundings than to like stop at red lights or follow the rules. It's like more important, and like being aware of whose turn it is to go, kind of like skate park etiquette a little bit. It's like,
there's a flow to it.
It's the flow, and you have to respect the flow.
It took me a while to catch up to the speed in New York, man. New York is like, if there's space, you take it. Like, people don't fuck around out here. Like, you have to like kind of ramp up your energy to like even just compete. And I don't know, I kind of look at it as a beautiful thing.
That's that hustle. That's part of that New York hustle. I feel like. You're fighting for space. You're fighting for attention. I think it happens in dense areas.
And when you get that moment where you're just like, I don't know, like, maybe it's not too clear in my video, but even sometimes when Terry's not filming me, when I'm just cruising, and you start to just feel really connected to like just anything and everything going around. Dude, like even today on the way in my commute, I like made eye contact with this dude. He was chilling behind his fence, kind of an older gentleman.
Yep.
And he was like, ride safe. And I was like, cool, like right on. You know, like,
I had
like
a similar interaction. A guy was smoking a cigarette on the corner. He looked like he was going to walk out. So we locked eyes, and I gave him like a half smile, and he went, "Rah!" and he hit a cigarette. Different interaction, but similar.
Yeah. No.
I just laughed. I was like, that was funny. He made me laugh this morning. He said something with a really cigarette-y, raspy voice. He was like, "Ah!"
Caught you off guard.
Yeah, those are beautiful things.
Yeah.
So cycling came first, you think, before you started to jump headfirst into what you're doing, or your path to where you're at now, or they were similar, intertwined?
They were symbiotic. They definitely were intertwined. I mean, I moved to SF, with the naive, idealistic dream of like, I want to be an artist, I committed to it early on, whether or not I was, successful financially. That's remains to be told. But like, I had some tough times, but like, I did it. I stuck with it, and here I am still doing it. But all throughout, like, biking was sort of like this other outlet that I could turn to. Because if you just do one thing all day, and that's all you are, like, you kind of get just one perspective, and you get kind of tunnel vision. So biking, it's in a great way. Like, I don't have to like overthink it or like understand like, why is it that I'm doing this today? Like, I don't have to like have all these conversations. I just like hop on the bike, and if I'm feeling down or feeling up, feeling whatever which way, like, it just kind of puts me in a different space. And I just can kind of tune out like all the things that I'm worried about or stressed out. And even in the act of the motion of things moving, you can like work through, challenges or whatever has been bothering you. So it's, and then, you get that moment of like, okay, cool. Like, I got an idea, or I feel a lot better, or like you just did a physical activity and you just naturally just feel better. Then I want to get back into the studio and keep creating. So it's kind of like a back and forth. And I think unconsciously, and I'm still seeing more of it happen to this day. Like, unconsciously, it has an influence on like the type of work I do and like how I go about creating. I mean, maybe it's just who I am, like the things that I gravitate to and interest me. But like, I'm definitely interested in just movement and flow and knowing when to push and when to pull and. You can kind of get more and more like literal with it. But, someone even said like, yo, you're a guy who paints circles. Like, I'll admit I'm the circle guy, and the influences growing up to adulthood to this day, like, yeah, man, it's like super literal and maybe corny, but like the wheel is about like motion, and it movement. And it's like, there's something about that, and other things that I do seem to involve a circle in one way or the other, like the drum, or I grew up dancing in the Bay Area, and then we were called circle dancers. We would dance, there would be a circle, people would jump in and out of the circle, and there was just like an interaction between people you never met but you just know at the party. So things like that. Breakdancing. Shit.
Yeah, we got to get Erik on the dance floor. Maybe you can get that camera down low. We can see some footwork.
Yeah, I mean, I might not get back up for a while, but yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you? I don't know. You want to give us a little tour of your space?
We could.
Is it in a good space, or is there? You don't want to do it yet? Do you have a nice schedule of how you want to go through this? He's a professional, everybody. He has some talking points he wants to get through.
Yeah,
first.
I got notes.
My notes are already talked about. I already did it.
Damn, that's it. No, I mean, I guess like I'll warm up with a warm up exercise. A lot of people are probably they probably have a lot of questions, and I'm not going to be able to answer it, but I will just jump to the chase that, I'm an artist in pandemic times, and it's difficult no matter what career you're in, to kind of navigate these uncertainties. But I think coming from an artist standpoint, there's kind of almost like an importance in this role. Like we as artists can offer something else for people out there besides the depressing news, just to kind of like shift your perspective somewhat, provide a little hope, provide whatever it is that you're trying to say, and myself included. However, I also have a separate place to do my practice, to do my work outside of my home that is more expensive than my home, and we're talking New York prices.
Yep.
And when this shit first went down, I was like already climbing out of the hole from some other bad business mistakes. Like it happens, and I thought it was the end of me. I was like, damn, like there's no way I'm going to be able to afford all of my overhead and whatnot. But yeah, and I've been trying to do all the things that the government has been saying that they're going to help us with. I haven't yet to see a dime.
I know.
I'm just, and oh yeah, and I kind of remember like filling out the unemployment, the unemployment application. There's like a part where that you have to answer these questions. Like if you say yes, that you're ready, willing,
able to
work.
Yep. Right.
And I put yes. Yeah, because I'm ready, willing, and able. I'm always ready, willing, and able, unless I'm dead, like. So, but that, like, clicking that box, like, it was just like, like, it just kind of sat with me. And there's a part of me, like, if I'm ready, willing, and able to work, and I've never really had a job, I have just a life that just I make work. So why am I not just working then? Why not just keep going? And it just seemed. The initial was really hard to battle, like, because you're watching the intake of all the news when it first was going down, and the death and the predictions, and it was scary. It was fucking rattling, man. Like, and it's like I couldn't even really like create for a minute. I would just come to the studio and stress the fuck out like everybody else. But after a while, keeping kind of the routine that I pretty much had before all of this, it eventually started to like kind of get into a groove again. And there's still moments of like, what am I doing? But I've been able to like keep pushing and try to be at the front of this rather than just getting buried in all the like the shit. So yeah, with that said, I mean, there were projects I had that canceled. There were sales I had lined up that were canceled. Everything was canceled. Yep. So I had to kind of start from scratch, and starting off this whole thing in debt. I had to think fast and I had to act fast, and I've been kind of on that path or trajectory ever since. But jumping ahead, I have a show. We'll see how these restrictions lift or whatnot down the line. In the late summer, fall, I have a show. And working backwards, I know how long it takes for me that I need to make the art, to wrap, document, ship, deliver, install, the whole bit. Yeah. Like, so I basically looked at the calendar and I was like, oh man, I basically have to start working yesterday. Like, like I'm already behind. Yeah. But I was so off in another like headspace there for a moment. But all the while, like, I don't have the money to just like, just feel comfortable knowing that the bills were paid and I can focus on the work. So it became like, okay, like things aren't normal. Things aren't going to be easy. But I'm going to have to just make this work like I have before. I've been through dark, lean times. I've been through like months and years of uncertainty. You just kind of have to keep going, So how I've combated that is I came up with the strategy of almost like a GoFundMe without a GoFundMe, like developing, different tiered level of products and affordable work that people can purchase to support me, sorry, but like this rent, the studio don't pay itself.
You're selfish, dog.
I know. There's that too. I'm like, am I selfish? It's like, but if I struggle and starve and don't take care of myself, how can I be of service to others? You know? So I do got to work on my self-development. I help where possible.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like by making this art that I've, been kind of messaged and told and had wonderful conversations with people I haven't spoken with in years. Now is the time more than ever for me to like commit to my craft, So there is an importance to it. I may be biased, but yeah, I'm doing it. But yeah, so I released, I worked safely with the screen printer. We made a print series. I kind of like what you're doing with the t-shirts and whatnot. I launched like a new little product line on my store, just like, anything and everything that people could probably get their hands on and have a little piece of what I do and all the while like kind of like keeping this car running, you know? So that I can more and more like afford the art supplies, keep the studio going and continue to make the work and hopefully have like a wonderful result of it, of like a next body of work that is both inspiring and just kind of like, I'm curious myself how it's going to be influenced by these times. And, hopefully we can have an event, whether public or private, limited capacity, virtual, we'll figure it out. And these are the things I'm trying to adapt and change to. And again, like just kind of, be at the front of it, like trying to be more proactive than just being like, oh, fuck, like nothing's normal. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, just like get creative. Now's the time. So
keep pushing forward.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to keep pushing forward and keep it a routine. And thank you for jumping in on my routine and being in on the routine with me.
Oh yeah, the morning routine. Yeah, see, I mean, you're doing it too. Like I think right now, like what people do, like during these times, I don't know, like if you're doing something that's sort of helping others or positive, I think people are really like tuning in. They're really paying attention. I think for a first time in humanity, everyone's been rocked off their comfort habits, and everyone's kind of just like, like questioning, wondering, and maybe like paying attention to things they didn't pay attention for. Like, I don't know, like we're having different connections and conversations, and it's dope and inspiring to see people like, maintain some sense of routine, or like almost like even starting new projects and ideas during this time, or just like, like talking about it, having just a conversation is really cool. So yeah, watching you, there's other people I pay attention to, and it helps, definitely helps, especially when it's just like it feels like it's just you yourself every day, like, okay, what am I going to do?
When people have a structure in their life and it gets just kind of demolished and crushed, I think that's part of the problem of why people feel a certain way. They're like, obviously everything in the media and the news, everything that's going on right now is terrible.
Yeah.
A big part of, like, for me anyways, was, well, I didn't have a traditional structure like you, but I would have the thing where I would come into the studio even if I didn't have work, and I would like, work on stuff here or try to do that thing, so having some kind of routine and some kind of structure back in your schedule is, I think it's important for people to get something that's at least consistent, so everyone's like, all right, yeah, I have this thing that I'm going to wake up for tomorrow, or I'm doing this thing, because right now not a lot of people have that. That thing was going to work, or that thing was, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or people used to look forward to, I don't know, like a movie or sports or just all these things that people could
those are gone.
Just, all of it's gone. And now we have a lot of time, and it's like, what are you doing with that time? Like now is the time to learn something new, or just get real quiet for as long as you can and see what that does, you know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It like, I always tell my roommates this, like, you know, it's like a business practice. During a down economy, it's the best time to invest in your business. And in this case, invest in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, self-development, man. Like, now that you have all this time, pick up that book you've been meaning to finish, or like get back on the meditation, workout, whatever it is that makes you feel sane. Like, super important.
Before you get away from here,
yeah, I'm not getting away.
Let me see. I thought I saw. I don't know if this question, I got to address this question because they sent a super chat question. By the way, thank you, Dan Milberg and Ramen Riders, for the donations. And Ivan
support Terry.
Christic, he's asking, and I'm going to ask it to you first, and I'll answer it as well. He's asking, if you could choose one analog camera for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
I have a Nikon FM2, and it's the only camera I have, so I made my selection.
You already made your selection for life.
I already have it. Yeah. And, yeah, it's pretty universal camera. You know, it's a metal body. It's bomb-proof.
Yeah.
I got like three different lenses for it, but I was like super into, when I was taking photos, I was more into like the macro or like the shallow depth of field kind of stuff, like where other things are fuzzy. Yeah, I was super into that, and black and white. Really into black and white. You know, I forgot the type of filter you'd put on.
It's crazy to hear you're into black and white
of clouds, and
with the color.
They look more dramatic
with all the color work you do.
I know.
On canvas and walls.
Well, this was a long time ago, but I mean, you know, even the color work, I'm thinking black and white. I'm thinking tonality.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Like if you were to take a black and white scan of my artwork, like the goal is to have every shade of gray, if that makes sense. You know, from white to black. Yeah. I don't know. That's my training. That's my school of thought.
Also, contrast, at least in what I do.
Dude,
contrast is key. It's the key to interestingness. You need the contrast. And I'm not talking about white, black next to each other. I'm just talking about contrast and tonality is necessary for interestingness.
I feel like it's not even a secret, but yet
it's not.
It's this funny thing. And everybody knows it, but like honestly, like just bang it over the head. Like the more you push contrast, like the more interesting it is. And yeah, like I'm doing that with like, you know, maybe glossy versus matte, texture versus smooth, like something like rugged versus something fragile. Yeah, color wise.
It's simple.
It's endless.
It's simple with the sun too. I always tell people, or I try to like whisper it in my videos. Sometimes I'm always like backlight or far side key. Like when the sun, like I don't want a front lit shot. Like if I'm say we're doing a hotline, and where the sun's behind me. First of all, my shadow's on the ground. Second of all, the person I'm following is being front lit, and so is everything else. Guess what happens to that contrast? It's gone. Everything's lit the same way. So when the sun's coming in from a far side, from in front, and the person's being backlit or side lit, now you have shadows. Now you have like an edge light. Now you have, you know what I mean? That's why I'm always like that, and then my shadows in the shot. You know, there's two reasons. So that's the contrast. That's an easy way to get contrast in your shots. Yeah.
When you're taking a photo, when you're looking for a good photo, are you looking to capture a story, or is it just like composition, something like?
It depends.
What is it that inspires you to take a photo?
Sometimes, I'm gonna do a camera swap. Sometimes when I'm taking a photo, I'm looking for, I might be walking and I'll see light, you know, I'll see the way the light is coming through, and I'll wait for a subject. It depends on what like if I'm shooting people on the street or things on the street, then sometimes I'm drawn to like the way light's falling, especially in like lower Manhattan or not just lower Manhattan where there's lots of buildings and like valleys of tall things, and you get this all times a year, the light reacts different, not just because of the way the sun comes through these like narrow streetways. Then it hits windows, and these windows reflect light back into the shadows all strangely. So the light is never the same in New York, which is why it's probably been such a street photography thing for so long. That and the density of people, I imagine, and the interestingness. But the lighting is what I'm drawn to first, and then I start to shoot. So, yeah.
Man, I mean, like I've definitely like, and I think by being a street photographer, going back to like riding bikes and making you hyper aware, like being a photographer, you're always scanning and observing, and you seeing that like when that light, that sun in the winter hits that particular building that has like a gold tint to it, and how it creates like this amber reflect, while then there's the natural sunlight mixing in between the two, and with like whatever neon light might be. I don't know. It's a trip. I sometimes wish I was better at taking photos. So
I know.
Good thing we have you.
I wish I was like Tatum Mangus. Tatum Mangus can shoot some good photos. In fact, she's in the chat.
What?
She's in the chat, and she's saying she's going to guess that my go-to analog camera choice is a Contax T2. And I would probably say that is true, Tatum. You're right. But I would rather... Does it have to be a camera I own? Because I would rather have a camera like a Leica M3 that doesn't take batteries at all. A camera that can operate without batteries.
What?
Yes.
What is it? How does that work? It's just solar powered?
No, it doesn't need batteries at all. There's no light meter in it, so you have to meter
it's
yourself.
Super analog. Yeah.
I would rather use something like that.
Wow. Well, I mean, if a Nikon FM2, if the battery goes out in the light meter, then there you go, no battery.
Well, yeah, but does it still keep the shutter speeds? I don't think it does. Some cameras are dependent on a battery to hold the shutter. Yeah.
Got it.
For the shutter to
I'll look
activate.
into it.
That was we got off to a nice little ramble there. That was good. Also want to say what up to Traffic Warriors in the chat. What's up, Sanchez? Also, I saw Megan Nisbet is a channel member, and she asked a question earlier. I'm trying to find it. Oh man, where is she? Oh, she just wants to know what you're working on now. Sorry, Megan. We're in the middle of he was talking. I saw it, but I couldn't, get to it. So we're gonna open this up to questions in a little bit, and he's also gonna show his what he's got going on. I believe. Yeah. To us. So.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna.
Mike Schmidt up in here too. What up, Mike?
So let's get mobile.
Yeah, take us around.
I got this thing, and it actually moves with me. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Let me just do it like this.
Yo.
So these right, like I remember I had still kind of dealing with it, like a back strain the other day, probably just stressed, And I came into the studio to just grab one thing, and then, every time I come here, I got to do something else.
Yeah.
And I was like, right? And I was like, how do I paint without having to stress my body out too much? And can we see kind of things? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I thought,
are you gonna do a live demo for us right now?
No, not at all.
Oh, that'd be rad.
I have like different like spray guns.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of these are like the hand pump.
Yeah.
And then I have like the ones to paint your house, cordless.
Oh yeah.
Sick.
Oh, I remember when you got that thing. You were talking about it a while back.
I was talking about it for a year before I bought it. Yeah.
Worth every penny.
And I just wanted to like splash some color.
That looks rad, even with the streaming camera. I know that it's not showing all the color that it's there, but I can see there's a nice little fade going on in there. It's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely about that fade. It's literally just paint and
just kidding.
water running down the surface. Sold. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess we're dealing. Is it still pixelated?
A little bit, but it's all right. I mean, we get the idea. We're in
But
social distance land.
yeah.
Things
You
are
get
different.
what you can get, people.
Things are different.
Another thing I've been working on. This piece is personal. I might actually keep it. We'll see. We're over the bed, and it may not come out very well with the pixel. But what I'm doing is another kind of texture inspired by all the textural materials I've been working with. It's just straight up collaged receipt paper. That
Whoa.
makes sense.
Where'd you get that? Is it used or is it?
I had it used. Yeah.
That's cool.
Just shit you find when you're looking for it. And I don't know, it's laying flat. I typically like to work like this, where I can freely access the piece from every angle. There is no down, there is no up, and it allows me, other than the pieces that are on the wall, because those were all about the paint falling off. And as you can see, the paint finds its way, off the canvas. But in most situations, I'm working flat, and I like to treat the piece almost like as an object, if you will. So
that's cool. I've never. Again, I'm not I don't work on canvas or anything, but just changing the way you interact with the canvas like that, probably it changes the work so much. Like if it's hanging on the wall, you're only going to work on it. I would think I wouldn't actively rotate the canvas on the wall, but if you place it down like that and work on it, that's a totally different experience.
Dude, it was a game changer. I realized I need to get an establishing shot.
Also, Eric, there's a comment in here. I don't know if you knew this, but Ramen Riders is saying if you put alcohol on receipt paper, it turns blue.
What?
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Ramen Riders for that.
Too bad we got a shortage of alcohol. Wait, what kind of alcohol? 99 or 70%?
I don't know. You gotta give it a try. That was a good angle you had over there.
Or vodka or Hennessy. Okay, yeah. Well, check it out. I'm gonna do.
What's going on here?
This angle.
Okay. Damn! Look at all those.
And okay.
Nice.
So other things I got going on, I am exploring. I'm constantly trying new shit, but I'm exploring some new materials to create textural surfaces right now. And I don't know. I'm not trying to overthink it. I'm kind of playing with some ideas and playing with some new material choices and new colors that I plan to move forward with for the show ahead. And I have some other things stashed away. I'll show you kind of where this might go in a second. But yeah, so something crazy would be, or not crazy, sorry, something I'm doing. It's not crazy. For instance, this piece. There we go. Yeah, it's basically, we'll get up close.
Ooh,
There's, sand and some other additives to just create that texture. And then when you kind of spray paint it, the spray particles, enhance that texture in ways that are pretty interesting. And this I just started these last week, or the end of last week. I don't even know what day it is, but it felt like a week ago. Right?
Yeah.
This one I'm pretty happy about. It's still going, and it's rather dark, but it's melting oil stick with a little baby torch. Yeah.
What's an oil stick?
Kind of a glossy. What's an oil stick? Good question, Terry. Basically like a large crayon.
Oh, like a streaker.
Yeah, and
they write on anything, right?
Yeah, and then it never comes off.
Yeah. Like that company Secura makes those streakers, and like graph heads would cut them in half long ways and put two together?
Yeah.
Is it kind of like that?
It's kind of like that. I actually have some mean streaks too that I was gonna try to melt too. Everything like is, I don't know. This shit's interesting to me. Like all the different materials that are out there, especially like construction related materials.
Yeah.
Not so much art supplies. I try to just pull from everywhere, and then you take it to the studio and you try to figure out different ways you can manipulate it. Whether it's like pouring it, smearing it, throwing it, melting it.
Yeah.
Different ways to create interesting imagery once you learn how to control it or not control it to a certain extent. But yeah, these are just kind of like some tests. I want to try to work with like darker, moodier colors, heavier emotion, and metallic kind of reflective materials as well. I think like a self-reflection kind of thing going on there. I'm actually going to be working with some mirrors.
Yep.
For the work ahead, and I can even and of course the neon lights, and I'll show you an example of that now. So we are now going to head to another part of my space. I have it like
take us there live. Prove Mike Schmidt that this is alive. He keeps
this is
asking.
live. Hey, Mike Schmidt. What up, Mike? Yeah, welcome to the...
Shout out to Mike Schmidt again, so he knows this is live.
Okay. So over here, I do a lot of staging. I got like storage. But this is just to show you an example of some of that textural work with the neon light. And may not all get the neon light.
Whoa.
I'm working on some new stuff, and it's just all about like the contrast.
Yep.
Word of the day.
Contrast.
Of like how a different surface responds to the glow of the neon light.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know how this is all reading, but this one.
It's better than people having to see a photo online, I think. We're getting a better read on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. These ones aren't on, but they use plaster and paint. And I even set up, just to give an idea of my larger canvas work.
Boom. Look at that thing.
Yeah. This is
that's a big boy.
This is fun. Yeah. It's almost as tall as me. Yeah.
Holy shit.
If you like red. But yeah, this would be an example of sort of my more two-dimensional canvas work, which is still like a lot to do about texture. It's no different. But I do feel like I kind of have two very separate things going, which is kind of a new thing for me. And I'm liking how one sort of responds, or kind of I'll get inspired working in a certain way and then want to try to figure out how to apply that to something else I was previously working on.
Yeah.
So it keeps you moving forward.
For people who are watching this right now live with us, there's some people who are really into some of the neon, and really some people are liking. A lot of people are liking what you're doing here. Is there a place where they could possibly support or get your artwork or something like that I can plug in the chat right now?
I mean, even just to like follow along and
Yeah.
Look at it. I've been getting better. I'm an old man. It took me a while to like wrap my brain around Instagram.
You're killing it, dude. You're busy every day on Instagram. I see you.
But I think in the last 2 years, like I finally was like, you know what? I think it's time to take this thing seriously. Like,
yeah,
more serious. Like, put it even at the forefront of all my marketing effort, because that's really where people are at. You can and companies that used to spend thousands of dollars on billboards or street campaigns, like they're all on Instagram. Everyone's doing Instagram, and it's not so much like it should be a self-promoting advertising platform, but it is a chance for people to like peer in and get this like inside glimpse like a more personable, like if you do it right, like you can make these connections with people whom you would never have met otherwise, who maybe would never step foot into a gallery, and on and on. So I've been really trying to like see the advantage in that, and just sort of like, I don't know, like how awesome that is, and leverage it a bit more, and trying to be more present and more like relevant, more like show me. You know, I remember we talked about like how you started off with videos that you were behind the camera all the time, and then eventually people wanted to see who you were. You know, and it's a little weird at first, but you know, I guess I'm embracing it more and more, leaning into it, if you will. So what was the question? If you want to see what I've been doing.
I dropped your website, and I dropped the link to the shop as well in the chat.
Yeah. And then I guess, you know, well, speaking of Instagram, that's pretty much like up to the nose, thumb on the pulse, like what I'm up to, especially with the stories. You know, stories are fun. You can kind of leak things before you create like a formal post about it.
Yeah.
And I tell folks, like, if they want to be like, because it's a lot, I'm doing a lot of different things, whether it's from prints to sculptures to shows here and there. You know, I have people subscribe to the newsletter. I send out maybe 4 to 6 a year, and pretty much on there, I offer like discount codes and like first grab at anything I release to the public, or just like letting folks know like what's on the agenda. Because I'm making work, but it's not always available immediately. Sometimes things are already spoken for, or there's for a show or whatnot.
What about to get on your, you were talking about the kind of the project in the beginning, you were talking about having this funding kind of thing where people could help fund.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all stuff that can be found currently on my web store.
On the web store.
I apologize. Yeah, or my shop, my online store, whatever it's called.
Okay, it's all there.
Yeah, there I got like prints and you know, lifestyle goods, merchandise, whatnot. It's all fun. It was actually kind of, I like to pay bills in college. I kind of like picked up graphic design, self-taught, and I got into a little bit of like translating my work into graphics for companies, like, you know, snowboard graphics.
Yeah.
Other clothing lines, and that bit of knowledge
Hotline graphics
stuck with me. yeah, and look where we're at today. Like, it's just another like tool in the tool shed, and it's fun to kind of like, you know, rattle the dust off and kind of try to go about making your work, but like in a different medium, you know.
I thought it'd be cool. Cool. Before we end all this, I'm not saying we're ending right now, but just to keep.
Oh no!
I had an idea to see later if I could share a YouTube video in Google Hangouts, like share my thing with you, and you can talk about the video we made together while it's playing.
Do you have the technical capabilities?
I think so.
To do that,
and if
Terry?
not, we'll just, you know, we'll just fail. That's what I always do.
Fail, like,
yeah, I just try and then I just fail.
Yeah. Hey, I commend you for that.
And I try again.
Definitely. I will say, wait, so are we going to do that now?
No. Just put it in your brain so you know. We can use it as an intermission. Okay. We can use it as a way to end the video as well. So just kind of bookend everything.
Let's do it. I'm going to use the restroom.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
No worries. I'll just, that's kind of, I remember you talking about that yesterday. So I was like also giving you a chance to.
I drink a lot of water, you know, and. Not really though, but yeah, 5 minutes or 95. And you know, anyone out there, if you need to use the restroom or if you need to refill that glass of water.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
All right. Well, while Eric's going away, I'm going to show my face for a little second. And Eric, just holler when you're back.
Will do.
Eric's going to take a little, a quick little break. What? Oh, he just left the chat completely. Bad boy. I thought I could bring up some of his website while he's away. We can see what's going on here. I feel like I've done this before. Boom. There we go. Look at that photo. There's Erik there. This is his. This is where you can find his work. I dropped it in the chat. Ramen Riders is. Thanks for sharing his work. He appreciates that. And then here's his shop where you can find some of his like smaller items, household items, lifestyle items, like he said. Look at this. He's already making face masks. He is on the trend. What? How did he do this already? Crazy. Yeah, that was cool. Oh, that's not what we want to see. Let's see. Is there any news? Does he have any news? Here's some photos here. Very nice. Erik Otto is an American abstract artist working in the creative disciplines of mixed media painting, neon sculpture, and site-specific installation since 2005. Otto received a BFA from San Jose State University in California. All right, that's enough of that. While he's gone, why don't you guys, if you guys have any questions for Erik, this is probably a good time to drop them in here, and we can go and do a little Q&A and see what's up with that. Matt Reyes is in the chat, everybody. What's up, Matt? Erik just stepped out for a sec, so we're kind of in a little intermission. I was going to play a video, but I didn't have anything ready. Matt, you see Mike Schmidt is in here? Just, I don't know if it's the real Mike Schmidt. Shit. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can play.
Yo, what?
Oh, I'm going to see if I can play this video in the Google Hangout. It would be cool if I could. Let's see. Erik, you can come back whenever you want, man. Come on, Erik. I think he's texting me. Oh. Let me see. I have to add him to the chat. Let's see. Hey, there he is.
Erik, you can come back whenever you want, man.
You got to mute that, dog.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, totally. So I'm going to see if I can drop this in here. I don't know. Let me see. Share screen, maybe? Maybe if I share screen. Let's see. Google Chrome. Oh, what?
Hey, there he is.
You got to mute that, dog.
Sorry, I just did. My bad.
Oh.
I'm learning.
There we go. Share that. Okay, so you should be able to see the video, right? Can you?
I see the screen. It's black.
Okay, good. Perfect. So I'm gonna tell me if you can see the video playing.
Yo, what's up? My name's Erik
Me?
Otto.
Yep.
I see the video playing. Yes.
Sick.
I'll
All
speak
right.
on behalf of the crew.
All right. So what we're gonna do right now is that we're gonna play Erik Otto, the rough cut, and he's going to talk over what was going on during the video. I'm gonna turn down the volume of the YouTube video slightly, and then we're gonna start now. So he's gonna do a live kind of talk over.
Yo, what's up? My name's Erik
Go ahead,
Otto.
Eric.
Sweet.
Hanging out
Okay.
by
Well,
the
I was
trash
also
can. We're in
making sure
Manhattan,
we address some of these
south of the
questions. So
park.
I see you.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
gonna get our ride on. We're gonna
I
go
guess don't
video.
talk over
south,
yourself.
and we're gonna find a park, another park.
Yeah. I should
Park
like
to park.
lip sync. Yeah.
And kind of
the exact
flow.
Well, they can't see your
Yeah.
face. They can only
Chill,
see
have
the
good
video.
times. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, my name's Erik Otto, chilling by the
Bought
trash
this bike
can.
off Six. It's an old
And
Italian
no,
steel track frame.
we had kind of planned on doing this
48, 18.
bike ride. I saw what Terry was
Nothing
doing,
special,
and man, I didn't think
so long.
I was going to be nervous leading up to it, but I was. I remember that when the day came, it was like, oh shit, like this is for real happening. Like, yeah, we're friends, whatnot, but there's also a bigger platform and audience to these videos, and you know, it's like you get one shot. You know, if you freaking have a stomach ache, you gotta like power through it. You know, and also like there's the city, there's all the things going on, and no matter how many times you ride a certain line, like it's different the next day or the next hour. So, you know, you got all that kind of running through your head. You got this microphone wrapped up. You got this, you know, you got Terry chasing you. And, you know, for the most part, you got to look like normal, right? And, you know, definitely I'm stunting. I'm stunting for the camera. Like, I don't ride like a maniac all the time, but sometimes I do. And it's fun to kind of really show up, if you will.
I gave you the hotline talk though. I told you ride normal, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, like I'm definitely not out of my comfort, you know. You know, some days it's time for riding like a granny, and then there's other days when you want to ride like hell. And you know, New York is a pretty accepting place. It's sort of indescribable unless you kind of live here and interact with it. But you know, folks kind of respect, you know, confidence. You know, at times it seems a little wild and crazy, but I attest the whole like GoPro look of things kind of adds a certain level of intensity that even when I look at this, I'm like, wow, that's me. You know, it's kind of wild. It seems really fast and really close to things, but no, it's chill. I actually, if you can't see my face, but I'm like smiling between my heavy breaths because I'm old and out of shape. But like, I'm having the time of my life, and you know, fuck it. Sometimes you got to do that. So I didn't really. This was pretty new to the move. You know, me relocating to New York, so I don't really know like the streets like some of the dudes out here who've just been in the game a lot longer. So I had a loose idea of bombing down Broadway just because it sounds cool, and I've done a lot of work in kind of the Flatiron area and, you know, lower Manhattan, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of like show the dip into it. And then I didn't even think about the time. I think this was like a Friday rush hour, like Friday, like right after work time, which was crazy. Didn't even consider that, and just like everything else, just jump right in and kind of figure things out on the fly, which added like a little bit more improvisation.
Yeah, I remember you saying you want to do Broadway, and this, I'm pretty sure this was a Friday, and you were, I kind of giggled about it. I was like, okay.
You're like, are you sure? Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm sure. Like, and the times I have bombed down Broadway were probably like a Sunday afternoon, you know, not so much like a Friday rush hour, you know, so it was wild. And you know, on my own, you know, I definitely have moments where I like to just pick up pace and really push it, but you know, then I'll be done with it. But it was cool to like really kind of pick up that pace and kind of try to keep it steady, if you will. And then here's where things were kind of like uh-oh. and then not knowing what next, just kind of working it out. Cause I want to deliver something cool for people as well. And also I'm up for the challenge, whatever. But it worked out nicely.
In Erik's defense, this part of Broadway is so broken.
there was like a cop on a horse. There was like a news camera. I mean, there was like shit everywhere. It was like construction I was unaware of. I'm for the most part commuting and biking in Brooklyn. If I go to Manhattan, it's like that one errand or one meeting. So yeah, I admit I don't know shit, and that's fine. But it was, we did it. It was cool. And like that right there was
this
fun.
Little move is tight. The little foot plant thing.
saw the bus come in and had to just back on it, So that was pretty nice. And I don't know. There's something really that going back to the freedom, something very liberating, being able to just pass up all these.
Guy.
I don't know what that guy was doing, but
I was laughing. I was smiling just as big as Erik filming. It was so funny watching and filming.
Yeah,
I was having such a good time behind you.
Yeah, I mean, we know each other, so there's like a certain level of trust. Like, I think you've talked about the safety in filming these things. Like, you kind of have to know the person you're following, because in a way you're sort of I'm just like, powering through, and it's like the blind leading the blind. You're following me in absolute trust, like just knowing that if I could take it, then you can go as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a lot of trust.
Yeah, I think it finally like cools out right here. My favorite part is once we get to the cobbles. To be honest, I to the Union Square area.
Oh, that's right. You took the line, you took the cobble line right next to Union Square and went straight through the cobbles, which I also was laughing about. I was like, really? Okay. But it was the straight shot through.
Yeah. Sense of adventure. I don't know. Yeah, most New Yorkers would probably not take to the cobbles, but
And also originally the plan was to go all the way down Broadway, and then you lost Broadway and kind of went down. Yeah. You started going down.
And then I was like, right here, I was like, oh, there's Broadway again. Oh shit, where'd that guy come from? And I did a complete 180 skid out, and then put my hand out to grab the construction fence, said hello to the dude with laptop, and then on we went.
Yeah, and I trimmed that out. I trimmed that out just to cut out the fat. In fact, watching this made me realize that there needs to be the extended cut. So I'm definitely going to release that later this week.
Oh,
and
okay,
show everything.
Finally.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
All right, here's the famous cut through where you were like, you know what? Let's take the cobbles.
Yeah, just if you go fast enough, you kind of fly over them. It's like a vibration, just brrr. You don't even feel it. And you got to micro lift the butt, There's a certain technique to it.
Nope.
It's, tricks.
Back
and Union Square was popping. It's farm. Yep. Yeah. Car doors everywhere. Police just chilling. Gotta love it. And I love this little
the
dip
skid
into
on
the next light.
The skid on the cobbles, so good.
Featherweight over here. That's because I'm light as fuck. and I almost lost you right here. I don't think you thought I was gonna fit. Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't fit. This was with my my other bars. They're a little wider, so your little bars cut through. I'm like, ugh.
I have to admit, I actually was trying to lose you there. I felt like it was this cops and robbers, And I was like, oh, if I just do this, maybe he won't be able to keep up.
I mean, that would have been a part where I would have just cut the video and you would have looked
I know.
saucy.
We had talked about that.
Yeah.
But then we pull through, and I think it becomes some of the best part of the line.
Yeah, because we're back on Broadway.
We're
The
now,
original
now in my
street.
head.
The original
in my
street.
head, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Broadway. You know, like this is what I wanted to do. You know,
Yeah.
I was a little unfamiliar. I mean, now I know. It's cool to look back. That was a cool shot.
This was when I was toying with you a little bit. I was like, is he tired? And so I went in front of you a little bit and split the car the other way. I was like, let me get some energy out of him. It's about to get hyphy.
You pushed me, and then, I love that part. The narrows.
So there's a
big
bike
buses.
lane on Broadway now on the left side, which is interesting.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah. All the way down?
All the way down from right after Union Square, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't really need it during the pandemic because the streets are so empty, but there's one there. It's more fun to be in the traffic anyways.
Definitely. It's a little weird. I've done a few rides. Brooklyn is very different than Manhattan right now. Manhattan, you know, it's as far as dense of a place it is pretty empty on the streets. People are in the parks, whatnot. They're enjoying themselves, keeping their distance. But yeah, as far as traffic is concerned, it's a time to ride a bike. It's one giant bike lane.
It's so nice right now.
Yeah, with the weather warming up.
We got the mess life guy in front. We pass him.
Hey, buddy, what's up? Sorry. We're filming. Oh, yeah, I predicted that car to make that right, and he did.
Yeah, you get that sixth sense.
And then that one, I didn't know what was going on. Thought I was going to get pinched. Kept it. Did a little more stunting.
Yeah.
And then I was like, maybe I can lose Terry right here. Nope, Terry.
You look back to check. You're not looking for cars. You're looking for me. And then, dude, this is a red light. I don't understand it. You went through? Sorry, I'm an asshole. Sorry.
I don't know.
And then I was like, why didn't you cut that van off?
Everybody know.
I forgot about this. You were like, well, we're not going to make it through Broadway. Let's cut this way. And I was like, yo, my camera's not set up for these dark little roadways, dude. Come on. You said Broadway.
I think I was just going at this point. I wasn't even thinking anymore.
Yeah, you were just flowing. Like, you were like, whatever way the traffic pushes me, it's which way we're going.
Yeah. I had that in my mind. I was like, I'm going to have a plan, but then if traffic pushes me a certain way, I'm not going to be an idiot.
Ooh, what's that?
Yeah.
You got a little crazy on there. I like these pigeons here. Oh, the one leg.
Wait, can people...
That's great. No one can see you. They can only hear you.
Okay, just the video.
So if you're picking your nose right now, it's all good.
I was.
Nice, dude. I do that on stream sometimes. I forget. I'm like, oh, shit, I can't do that. All right, so tell us about this little end right here.
Yeah, we kind of keep going to where I'm just like, man, I don't even know where I'm going anymore.
Well, I was telling you, if you make it through Canal, I'll make sure that I don't. Because Canal is a crazy cross. It did get spicy right here with the skids and stuff. And I remember you did pinch. I got pinched over here, which was nice.
Yeah. Cool. I haven't watched it all the way through in a while. Oh, yeah. And then it gets really tight.
Yeah.
Like, stupid tight.
Yeah, too tight for me. Oh,
I bumped a little, like...
You bumped the mic right there. That was the microphone bumped on his car. And that's where you had the biggest gap on me. And I thought, if you would have crossed through, you would have made it.
I'm sorry. I'm the asshole.
I love that part.
I love just mashing to the park and then...
I also like that we concluded here.
Not as fast, but it's fun to do that route coming back.
Did we what?
I like that we closed it up with this little talk right here.
Little chit chat.
Yeah.
And then obviously coming into Union Square area.
Yeah, that was good touch. And look, it's dark now. Like, we were biking so long.
Hours and hours in the saddle.
For hours, yeah. That's all. We play this at a faster frame rate.
And
makes it look faster.
I think I made you do this
Kidding.
twice
No
as
doubt.
well.
A lot of people. It's a Friday afternoon, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was a Friday afternoon, y'all.
Folks were thrilled. But we
Friday afternoon, I was wearing shorts. Oh man, missed that.
Yeah, it's coming soon. Tomorrow's gonna be warm.
grab it.
I said, hit the camera, dog.
Yo,
Nice.
Can't believe we just did that. It's a
Oh,
Friday
I
afternoon.
put
You
both
gotta
of them in here.
understand the amount of interaction, the amount of resistance, the amount of people, the amount of unknowns.
It's the rough
but we
cut.
had an absolute thrill with it. I'm not sure if everyone out there agrees, but we had fun. Your turn.
Sick, dude.
Tight.
I'm gonna cut this out for a sec. Let me see. I gotta get Eric back on the thing here. Where did he go? Stop sharing my screen with you. Let's see if I can get Eric back. Not yet, Eric. Hide, Eric. All right, now you can do your thing. Oh shit! There he is.
Oh
sick.
man.
So yeah, that was cool. That was the first time we used Google to do that, and I think it worked really well. The only thing is we can't see your face, but I don't think that's important anyways. It's more important to see the video.
I think so. Yeah, you'll figure out that picture-in-picture at one point.
I need two interfaces. That's the only other way to do it. Yeah, because we were gonna originally we were gonna do this conversation where I have half the screen, Eric has half the screen, but it's not gonna work with audio and OBS properly. So, just some little BTS of my technical lack of skills. Back to Eric. Here we are. Eric's back in here.
Well,
that was a cool little
gonna...
intermission. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go with this?
Q&A?
Yeah, Q&A. There were some questions way back before we started that. I know Matt asked circle or square, dots or dashes. I saw that.
Circles and dots.
Circles and dots it is. Let's see.
Oh, here we go. Graham. Eric.
Yep.
How much have you been writing with the pandemic going on? What does the balance of working writing look like compared to normal?
So Graham,
life?
So Graham, who's a channel member, Eric, he wants to know: have you been writing with the pandemic going on? And what does the balance of working and writing look like compared to normal life? I think I did it better than you.
Yeah, you did. I suck at reading. Thanks for the question, Graham. Definitely everything is different right now. And for a while I too was glued to the news, just wondering what I can and can't do. I was actually kind of tired of people telling us what we can't do, because that creates like an animosity, or like it's unsettling. It's like, tell us what we can do. And it's like, we sort of had to figure that out on our own. You know, you learn your system or your way. And like, dude, riding a bike by yourself, or even with like a couple other people, but like spaced out, all good. I've still, granted, it's been kind of like mixed winter, spring. I mean, it's definitely not winter anymore, but it's been cold still, or wet. But I've gone on some rides, thankfully my roommates are Amir and Brian Novello.
Amir's in the chat.
Homies.
Amir was in the chat.
Boys.
He was in the chat earlier. And then
he got bored.
one quick little thing to inject here is Eric and Amir and Brian, they are really close. They live really close to me. So I've seen them at distance walking by. I think I had a laundry day one time, or a grocery day one time, and we like walked the same line. The same path,
it's wild. It's like,
which is weird.
We moved to that neighborhood, and then shortly after, this whole thing went down. So it's like we live right next to one another, but we don't even see each other.
Yeah, I think I went to your house once or twice before all this stuff really took off.
Yeah. But it's good to know you guys are close, and Tatum as well. But Amir is just full on, like, been a big influence. He's got tons of bikes and tons of knowledge, being a bike mechanic and being on a bike in New York City. He's from Queens. For as long as he has, it's been great. And Novello and I, we met riding bikes in San Francisco back when, in the heydays. And so it's sort of like bringing back those old times, just getting on a bike and picking a spot, any spot, and figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
You know, definitely like getting to nature is more of a thing. Like I'm not real like juiced on like, oh, I want to ride through the city. Like I've done that. Yes. I checked out like the American Red Cross, ship, like kind of just like all this shit you've been reading about on the news. Like I was like, I wanted to see it in person for myself. And that was cool. Actually, it was in a weird way, like inspiring. It made it real, but in a good way. Like, I guess, cause when you read things on the news, I think in general, you just like spin your own thing. And it maybe the way they write it, it just seems crazy. It just seems wild or freaky. And then like, I don't know, I went out there to Manhattan and it was like, man, New Yorkers, like, we got this. Like everyone is, it's COVID times, but folks were still acknowledging each other, being compassionate and patient, which you never see. And it felt like in a way there was like a community, without having to like directly interact with one another. I don't know what I'm saying, but anywho, nature rides are of importance, biking to a body of water or the beach or a lake or the trees, shit like that. So there's plenty of spots to kind of get that feeling of getting out of things. Just, definitely we're moving less. We're a little cooped up, and if there's any movement on my part, most of it's just to the studio and back. And then in the studio, I'm just pacing, and it gets tiring. It definitely gets tiring. So I am biking less, because there's less going out or meeting up with friends the way it used to be. It takes a lot more,
I think some of that has to do with your bike selection. And I've been really trying to push Erik, and I know it's a financial thing to get a new bike, but I'm always like, got to get Erik on a gravel bike or like something with gears, because he had a road bike at one time. You had a road bike at one time, and you had to get rid of it, which is fine. But it's hard. We live in a pretty flat place, but to have a bike you're confident in riding on, like not just pavement, would help those journeys. Yeah. So let's all get Erik on a bike. Let's get Erik on a bike here. Let's get him on a bike with some gears and some fatter tires.
Buy some shirts and I'll get that gravel. No, I rode gravel for the first time on Amir's bike, and his bike super dialed in.
Yeah, you've been borrowing his bike.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why the shout out. And yeah, I must say it kind of brings me back to the heyday of just, pedaling around on a BMX with like, no fucking agenda. Just like, oh, I want to go check out over there. And you just go. There doesn't have to be pavement.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's fun. And it's loose. It's like more, I think it's more my style. I kind of like the fact that the bike is kind of scrambly or moving around underneath. Yeah. So I'm sure it can also be dangerous. You took us through the park, Prospect Park, rides with Terry, trying to keep up, not knowing what I got myself into. And but you can do a lot more with the right bike for sure. There's a lot more access. And I would love to, that was as far as sticking to a routine and like, I don't know, life goals. I had it on my, my to-do list to get a gravel bike come spring, summer, which is last I checked right about now. So we'll see.
Nice. We'll be waiting.
But I do also at the same time, sorry, long answer, typical me. I feel like I'm like been really busy, and I don't know if folks out there feel that this way, but like, even if you don't have a job right now, it's just like internalizing everything that's going on. And then there's like new tasks you have to do. Just everything is a task, like to go to the store to get milk, like you have to make sure you put the gloves and the mask and think about, you have to take more time to do even the simplest task. So that time, all those little added times take up more time in your day. So you feel busier. You're like, why am I so busy and exhausted mentally all the time? It's fucking fatigue, man.
Things
and
take a little longer right now for sure.
Everything is taking longer, and I'm still like trying to, navigate that and like try to stay cool and be like, no, this is the new normal, and this is, or maybe it's not forever, whatever, but this is the reality. But yeah, man, just trying to take whatever little time I have, to do other things is good. But I feel like I'm working like twice as hard lately, just to maintain,
Yeah.
So.
No, I feel you on that. I kind of said the same thing. I have no schedule or work, or all my jobs that I had lined up in the beginning of the year all got canceled, and I was sitting there like, well, what the hell do I do with my time now? And now I don't have any work things eating my schedule up, and I still find myself just like putting more things on my daily plate, like,
yeah,
I'm not doing much, but then I'm like, oh, well, why don't I just do a morning routine every day? Oh, why don't I film a video? Oh, why don't I go to the studio and do this now? And I'm like, well, what the hell am I doing with all my free time? I'm like really filling it up.
yeah. It's
crazy.
And that might say something about who we are.
That's just me. I don't like to just sit there.
Exactly. I have to keep doing stuff. It's just sort of how I'm programmed. But like Graham had a follow up.
Yep.
And same, like it has been tough focusing. I mean, like, I think I got into it a little bit at the start when this whole thing was first going down. I found it incredibly difficult to feel comfortable enough or to quiet the mind long enough to like focus on any certain task. And I think with everybody's routines disrupted, or even where their place of work tended to be, and without that commute, like the whole like that routine, it puts you in the state of I'm working, all of those things have changed. And I don't know, I guess as far as advice, my humble advice is you start small, start somewhere, be easy on yourself. That, life definitely has to keep moving forward, not to discredit, folks are suffering, like, you still got to live, and it's important to kind of carry on, even if it's just one thing a day. And after you kind of maybe stick to that one thing a day, some days are easier than others. Some days you just don't want to do it, but you keep trying, and it's kind of like a momentum or practice with anything. You get that one thing down, and then you can start adding more things, and before you know it, you're kind of being a productive human being again, But I think the important thing is to be easy on yourself. I am a number one critic on, like, I will like set out to do something, and then if I don't do it, I get really down. I'm like, fuck, I failed,
Yeah.
But rather than that, you can be like, it's okay, and you can kind of like, well, why did I fail? Or why am I so stressed? Why can't I focus? Like, even like trying to come at it like from like an objective standpoint, like trying to figure out why can't I focus? And once I can figure out why I can't focus, then I can maybe address that. Like, oh, it's because I'm not sleeping right. Like, well, then sleep better, or make that your thing, or making sure you drink more water, or eat healthier, or exercise. All these things, we've all heard it, whatever, but it is hard to do it day after day after day, And again, sometimes you wake up and you're just like, I don't want to do it, Yeah. But the main thing is to kind of keep at it and just be cool. Like, just like be gentle. I don't know how else to say it. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah. Ba-da-ba.
One thing at a time. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, and then you slowly build. You slowly build. Yeah.
I'm a believer of building. It's almost like a little bit of confidence within yourself by starting with the one thing. You try to pile on, like the whole thing. It's too crazy. So you do one step at a time, get comfy with it, and then you can add the next thing. And
you
you're
build
like,
a little
that was
confidence.
easy. And then you look like 30 steps down the way, and you're like, damn, I'm doing all this right now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Like,
it is. It's
that's how I
cool.
approach a lot of things,
And shit, man, like, life has been treating, like we've definitely been through hard times, individually
Yeah.
before. And, those hard times, like kind of like maybe look back at them. That's something I kind of did too, to try to build a little steam, was like trying to look back intentionally at other times in my life where I took these huge risks and failed, or maybe it worked out, but it worked out differently than planned, or when times just were not good or certain. And how did I get through that? Like, what did I do then? And what was the result? And, like, oh shit, I'm still here. I'm still alive. And if anything, that really challenging time fed me so much. Like, this can be an opportunity, if even. So I think that's kind of where it started for me, like writing. And then I kind of took it to like Instagram publicly, doing these like timelines of looking back, but moving forward posts. And little by little, I was able to buy the bare minimum supplies at the time, because I had no money, but shit was locking down. I had to like get something. And I got the materials that you see here just to kind of, tinker, make some work.
Yeah.
And then from there, get the creative juices rolling, and, start taking notes and doodle. I mean, I'm fucking always, I'm always just putting shit down. And then eventually I can get enough confidence to like put it out there,
Yeah.
So, but it definitely starts with a small task and working your way up.
Yeah, when this whole thing started, in New York anyways, when like New York was like, we are doing essential business only, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like when all that happened, I freaked out a little bit myself. And that's why I brought a lot of this stuff to my house. And
yeah,
because I
remember
like,
that.
oh shit, like I'm not going to be able to even get to my studio because they're going to lock the building down. And,
yeah.
And because I'm not essential business. And then I started to read over the weeks, things have progressed a little bit and changed. And then I started to just question what the hell that even means. Like I'm not going to work per se, I'm just here creating, and I need this. So I was doing it from home. And then you're right. Your studio is different from mine, but now that I've slowly started coming back here, I don't see anyone in here. I might see the door guy.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Like I come in here and that's it. Like I'm in this space by myself. So I feel a little more comfortable being here, even though I feel like I'm sure there are people out there who are seeing that I'm here in my studio, and they probably they're like, fuck this guy for doing this. It's like, well, but they don't know the situation. Yeah. Everyone's situation is different. Yeah. But I mean, like I when all the talk of lockdown was happening, like, I mean, for a minute I was like, I need to get into the studio as much as I possibly can, because they might not let me go out of my house. I thought it was going to get so bad that I would be riding my bike to the studio, and then a cop would like pick me up be like, yo,
and arrest me.
Or fine you and then arrest you.
But I was ready to take that risk. I was like, well, I'm going to keep going and keep pushing until that happens. And it hasn't happened. You just be smart. You got to have your system. Like I have my studio outfit that I immediately change into when I get here. I have my home outfit, and I have my commuting outfit, and they don't cross pollinate as best as possible. Like you gotta do what you gotta do. Humanity's been through worse, so we got this. You're more prepared than me. I wish I packed or wore a commuting outfit today, because I got here all wet because it was raining. My shit's all drying out next to the heater right now. I'm dry now, but I was wet when I walked in. You got to have a little studio outfit. Your podcast outfit. I need that little bow tie. I still have this riding with the light in the background. Okay. I need I thought about bringing in some sandals or some slides, so I can be comfy in here. Oh, cool. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. So it feels like we're like just hanging out. Yeah, like, Mr. Rogers neighborhood, you got to come in, change your jacket, change your shoes. You don't know what I'm talking about. Well, what about Terry, what are you're doing the morning routine, you're trying to stay active, and like keeping a routine. What are some other things you've kind of been doing?
Riding my bike.
Yes.
I've been riding my bike a lot, and then I realized
You've been making.
yeah. Then I realized like I was spending so much time riding my bike and doing these morning routines and like YouTube stuff that I neglected things at home. So then I was like, my girlfriend was doing all the cooking and stuff, and I was like, oh man. She like let me know and reminded me, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to help out with this stuff too. I can't expect to just eat, because I'll eat whatever. I'll just like put a banana on a piece of stale bread and be like, I'm going to bed. Like I ate a banana. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can do that, but it's not a good way to live your life, especially in times like this. You should if you can eat, you should make food and do it right. So I've been cooking, getting back into cooking a little bit.
Domestication.
I'm rusty. But I'm getting back. So it's been fun. Yep. I've been made some, this is probably everyone's quarantine story. There's like people making bread, people making pizza and all that shit. I made pizza dough for the first time. I've never done it before at the house. And then I made pizza like 2 days. I made pizza for dinner, and then I made pizza with the leftover dough for lunch. And then I had leftover ingredients, and then I put the ingredients on bagels. Shout out to Mount Reyes for the idea. It was bomb.
Damn.
It was bomb. Made the sauce, got the cheese and grated it. Been binging on cooking shows, mainly just one. This dude, I'm sure there's people out there who know or who are into cooking, binging with Babish. Been watching his stuff, and it's just straight to the point, and definitely copying exactly what he does, but then learning from the ideas of why you do things. So then I can just slap together something later and not have to do it. Like, oh yeah, you should dry brine this before, like for a day before you cook it, like duh. Yeah. Because it's going to make it better. So now that's kind of starting to ingrain in my brain a little bit. So it's been fun to cook a little bit, It's like a routine, It's getting back into something, because even doing it so much, I guess I should switch cameras. Even doing it so much, or not doing it so much, I was eating out a lot just from my work life, and like being in New York, being on productions, you end up not at home a lot. You have weird hours, so there's a lot of eating, takeout, and going to restaurants after shoots with like people. So I didn't eat at home. Like both of us, me and my girlfriend, weren't cooking that often, because she's also, she works in photography and does a lot of assisting in photo shoots. So she's in the same kind of production schedule. And then I realized, now that I'm cooking a lot, that we both haven't been cooking, and we kind of lost touch with that. So it's been fun to go back and realize how much it takes a lot of time and effort, but it's like more fulfilling, I feel like. And also it's cheaper. It's so much cheaper.
Yeah,
it's way cheaper.
It takes more time, I guess, like planning ahead, prepping, the cleaning, I guess, but it's so much more rewarding and satisfying and healthy and cheaper for sure.
Let's see. I had turned my back to the chat. Oh, they're just commenting on the just eating whatever and going to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's like stale crackers and some jalapeno jelly from like whatever. I'll just like, all right, well, I'm going to bed,
Yeah.
What about you?
I've been eating oatmeal all the time, but no, I too have gotten. I've taken to the kitchen like a little bit more. It's something I kind of actually wanted to do. I had like 2-3 dishes tops prior, and now I have 4. But now. No, now I'm experimenting more with ingredients I would have never purchased prior. And I hear a lot about people doing that. And I think there's people are inspiring one another to, even bake bread. like
Yeah.
from scratch. It just that concept was like, why? I can just go to the store and buy like freshly baked bread and not have to deal with it. But, now that even going to the store is such a task, and I don't know.
And you
what
have
else
you have some extra time. You might as well.
Yeah,
And then-
essentially, yeah.
And then you're going back to that part where you said, well, what do you do with this time? It's a good time to invest in yourself. All right.
Yes,
Learn how to make
yes.
the bread. Learn how to
Yeah.
become
Exactly.
a better person.
And I think
kitchen.
when you're cooking all your own food, it puts you just that much more in tune with what you're intaking. I mean, yeah, I've definitely had to like the peanut butter before bed, but I've been trying to step it up with variety and definitely lots of fruits and vegetables. My smoothie game every morning. I'm sure it annoys the hell out of my roommates, but it's a thing. I do not leave the house unless I have like this much smoothie.
I ride that wave and fall off it so many times.
I know.
I like get on it and then I fall off, and I get on it and I fall off. It's hard. It's hard when you're in the house with someone else. I'm not blaming this on Tatum at all if she's still there listening. It's just hard when you share meals to push a way of eating on someone else. But
this is true.
Man, the smoothie game is good. And I tend to. I feel like it's almost smoothie time. It's the weather's getting warmer. I don't much like it when it's cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too bad they don't have like hot smoothies. I thought about that.
Yeah.
Like a sweet and savory, like hot soups. I guess that's soup.
Just the soup, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep trying. You could just throw anything into those Vitamixes.
Tatum makes a vegan chili that's so bomb. It's more like a veggie. I mean, it's chili. It's got chili like peppers and stuff. She just there's one actually left over in the fridge right now. Big pot of it. It's so good.
We'll trade you
it's delicious.
chili for whatever we can do. We're working on some salsas.
Ooh, I like that. That's one thing that we are always munching on in the house: tortilla chips and salsa. It's like the go-to easy.
We're big on snacks too. Yeah, I mean, my household is 3 dudes and an occasional girlfriend that rolls through. We're munchers, man. So we're always getting creative with snacks. Whether or not we go public with it, that remains to be seen. But it's fun. All of this is fun for real. I'm happy to see other people. Like for the first time, you know what I thought about? Like we're kind of having to fend for ourselves. I'm sure you can buy pre-ordered food and order takeout, but that gets expensive and exhausting. But yeah, for the first time ever, folks are having to be like, shit, like, well, what do I want to eat? Like, and they're taking to making it themselves. And I honestly do. All of this is like reverting us back to, I don't want to say simpler times, but it's reverting us back to some kind of basics, a lot of things that we tend to overlook because we're just spinning, doing a ton of other things.
Yeah, for sure. That just reminded me, or I just thought of what I ate for dinner last night. This is horrible. I had a hot dog. We didn't make a real dinner last night.
Yeah.
Tatum made me a hot dog with some like secret sauce, which is like QP mayo and a little ketchup and some sriracha, some garlic powder. It's pretty bomb. And then some mustard on it and on a Hawaiian roll bun.
Oh, you just a bunch of Hawaiian rolls stuck together?
Well, no, they make hot dog buns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, watch out.
Wow. Watch out.
You can put a banana on that if you don't eat hot dogs. Anyways, I had a late lunch, so I was like, I'll just have a hot dog, or I'm not that hungry. So she made me one hot dog, and that was it. And then we were both sitting there watching Westworld and having a bottle of wine. And she was like, I'm still hungry. So then I made this cheese plate with all the leftover crackers and some cheese we had in the fridge. It was bomb.
Oh, nice.
That was my dinner, just a bunch of cheese and crackers and a hot dog. So and almost 2 bottles of wine.
Oh, that was the dinner.
Yo, she ordered this wine service where we're not like an alcoholics or anything, but It's a box of
noted.
15 bottles. And I guess the thing with it is, you order it online, which sounds kind of gnarly, or like, I don't know. Online delivery services usually take a huge fee, but she ordered from this place that is the liquor store's right down the way, apparently. And she got a box, and they just choose the box or all the wines for you. So it's 15 random wines, which is the first time we've ever done anything like this before. And so far everything's been pretty good. The first bottle of wine last night was a little on the sweet side, but we still drank it, you know.
But it's like a variety pack.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah. It's all the shit they probably can't sell. And they're just like, throw it in the box.
We need to get rid of this. Hey, well, they're being smart too. That's like, I mean, that's another thing. People are getting creative.
Reuse, reduce, whatever. Like, it's already packaged. Someone should drink it.
Yeah. I think another, you know, I think, you know, we're snacking more and we're eating maybe more comfort food because we're maybe like stress eating. I just learned about something I want to try because I've been craving sweets, like ice cream. I don't even really. Yeah, my brother told me about peeling bananas, throwing them in the freezer, then blending them up once they're frozen, and adding a little bit of almond milk, ever so. And
just the banana.
Just banana.
Yeah, that's how I use. That's what I use. That's the base for most of my smoothies.
But not doing smoothie, like you can, if it's frozen.
Yeah, no, I freeze my bananas.
Oh,
I peel them and freeze them. And yeah, you can just add almond milk to them for sure. And I would still call that a smoothie.
Yeah, I think I learned that too.
That's a cold soup.
Yeah. Smoothie is different from one person to the next. You want, like, dude, my smoothies consist of a banana, 2 mandarins, half an apple, pineapple, half full of spinach, carrots, yes, turmeric, ginger, cayenne, and flaxseed protein powder.
Oh, you put the protein powder in there?
Oh,
that's where I fucking stopped listening.
Bro, look at me how big I am.
Protein powder in there. Oh, Tatum is still in the chat. Oh man, she heard everything I said. Chambers Street Wine is what it's called.
Oh, okay. Shout out
to Chambers.
Let's shout out some folks doing shit. No, how about, where's everybody from? I'm always kind of curious. Like, just drop your city or your gang sign. I don't know, where country.
Yo, where are you guys at? Let us
drop
know.
A city, and then like followed by like the food you've been eating the most.
Yeah, what are you guys doing in the chat? Where are you from, and what you eating, or where you at and what you eating? We'd love to know. Oh man,
because I need some ideas.
I said I didn't say anything bad. I said nothing. All I did was call myself out, Tatum, to everybody.
Yeah, okay. We're praising LA, Tulsa, London.
Tulsa, okay. What are you eating?
Oh yeah, sorry, it was like a 2-part.
Here we go. Banana protein shakes almost daily. I like that. Okay. Transylvania, baby. No, Arpad has been around. He's like one of my original channel members. He's got the yellow badge.
That's what's up. Yeah.
He rides.
Yeah, beans and rice, man. I've been eating so much of that.
I can get down with that.
There's so many ways you can spin it. And forgive me for not knowing that. Some people, that's all they eat or can afford to eat.
I want to tell Matt Reyes that a grilled cheese and tomato soup is just another style of pizza, buddy.
Wow. I mean, I think about, that's like the same with a lot of foods out there. It's just the same shit, but presented differently. Yeah. You know, like a Taco Bell menu.
I've been going hard on breakfast, or I was going hard on breakfast when I was doing morning routine, staying at home and not coming to the studio. A lot of butter. I started to realize, like, yo, why so much butter?
Yeah, why the butter? Is it
because I started watching Binging with Babish, and I wanted to learn how to make these like Gordon Ramsay soft scrambled eggs. They're so good.
Oh,
it's
you
like
butter.
super low heat butter, and before the butter is even all the way melted, you add the scrambled eggs and you cook it super low, and you just keep mixing it, add some chives in there or some green onion, keep mixing, keep mixing, and it just comes out like a egg porridge. You put some cheese in there. Oh, it's so good, dude.
Wait, so when are we doing
just on toast? Just on toast. And by itself, it's so bomb.
When are we doing the morning routine where we're just watching you cook?
It's been gnarly because like Tatum made the hot dog thing last night, and then we watched Westworld and a movie, and then we watched what's it called, Moneyball last night, which was a really good movie. I'd never seen it before. I was into it.
Yeah.
It was super. It was cool. So basically, there were still dishes everywhere. So one of these days, when I finally do the dishes after dinner's made. In fact, the dishes are still not there. They're still there, and I need to do them. Sorry, Tatum.
Yeah, it was the way I was raised. I can't not eat and then do my dish. It's just sort of like ingrained in me. Yeah. I have to clean as I go, leave no trace. But movies, man.
Affinity Cycles in the chat. I just want to say what up to Affinity Cycles. All right, go ahead, Eric. He's eating veggie burgers and corn tortillas and coffee.
And coffee. Lots of coffee. Definitely. We're buying the big pounds of bags of beans now. It's ridiculous, but whatever gets you through these times. Yeah.
Movies. When all this first started, I watched what was the movie about the Ebola crisis. I forget what it's called. Like all the things that went super viral on like Netflix. Then I watched 28 Days Later, like zombie movies.
That's right. We watched that together.
And then I felt like this. Yeah, I felt like this was like a theme. I was like, we got to get into this mindset because I felt like we were about to be locked down like that for crazy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like let's get weird.
Yeah, like we're in New York. We're fucked. This is the worst place to be.
I was with it, and I was starting to get a little freaked out.
Outbreak. That's right. Outbreak. Thank you for that, David.
Yeah. And I was like watching the pandemic series on Netflix, trying to get like educated, but man, it starts to be a bit much. And I'm like, well, man, where's Will Ferrell at? Like, I want to laugh.
Yeah. I don't. That's one genre of movie I don't. I never pick. I rarely go for comedy. I realized that recently.
I think we talked about this. Yeah. Well, I guess apparently to my roommates, I pick a lot of sad movies. I'm a sad kind of guy.
Yeah, Tatum says
sad, but like uplifting, like just a little bit of like.
Tatum says mine are serious and depressing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if mine are depressing. They're just kind of like shit happens and it's kind of sad.
She's like all the people always end up in a bad situation and it's just a feel bad kind of thing. Whatever.
Yeah. But as far as artsy movies, I can recommend, roommate put me on this, but Samsara, Samsara, Google it. And then also Andy Goldsworthy, he's a land artist. He basically goes out into nature and he fucks with like sticks, rocks, and mud.
Wait, are you telling me? I'm just kidding. But I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, Andy needs to get a bike. He needs to get on a bike. Homie's like 70, 80 years old now at this point. He's a legend. He just put out he's only put out 2 movies. First one is slow. This one he just put out. I do recommend for some Sunday chilling. And as far as like, I don't know. Like, what else? I want to know. Like podcasts, like what else is going on?
Andy Goldsworthy would make killer YouTube videos if he like embraced YouTube.
They would be like people 30 minutes long.
Would eat those things up. Can you imagine like all these long shots with no just the ambient audio of him setting things up?
Yeah. Dude,
it would go super viral.
I mean, that's his whole thing, is about solitude and slowing down and being in touch with nature. Like, shit, man, we all need to look to Andy right now. What would Andy do?
Yeah. What would Andy do?
But there's a ton of just, I don't know, like I've been taking advantage of all the free webinar and workshops and like artist studio visits happening on live, IG Live.
What about the free Adobe Creative Cloud?
You told me about that.
Yeah.
I think it's over now. I think we're back to paying for it.
I think I have to pay this month too. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. But there's there's things we have to pay for, but there's things that are now have become for free.
Let's talk about
we
that.
both got an
rent.
What?
Rent. There's things we have to pay for. Fucking rent, dude. You know, like how many times me and Tatum talked about like, I don't know. Are you gonna pay? Should we pay rent? Maybe we'll only pay half. We got to talk to him. I don't know. Am I getting any money? Like, how are we going to pay rent like in 3 months from now if we pay rent now? Like what? Like all these questions.
Yeah.
Like I'm not working and money's not coming in. How am I supposed to pay rent later?
That's the toughest one.
Stressful. We're all good.
It's hard.
We're all good though. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like hard to, if they want us to stay home and like, in a way we're going back to basics and whatnot, but we still have these rents, for places that we can no longer work to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's the conundrum.
And you and I are in a similar situation. Like we pay rent, and then we pay rent again somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's like
double rent.
And then when I was told I couldn't come here, I took it as I couldn't come here. I shouldn't come here, and I'm still paying rent. It was really hard for me to be like, what?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to pay rent? Like, oh man, this is hard. What am I supposed to do here?
Exactly. I mean, you got to do something. I think, like you said, like, should we talk to the landlord? Like, I definitely think people should just talk to their landlords.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, situations are different, whether you're paying to a big company or you're paying to a friend. Like this studio, this would not be possible without the help of a friend.
Same with me, with Jason here.
So if I don't pay her, I screw her. And we're in a same situation.
I said the same thing to him. I was like, I don't want to fuck you over, but man, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Yeah. We're doing it, we're doing something, there's no like right or wrong or easy be all end all answer. But definitely talking about it is just good in a lot of ways.
Arpad brings up a little funny statement. He said, bill collectors are essential workers.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Who is essential and who's not? That's also kind of a hot topic.
Yeah.
Debate.
You know what the interesting thing here in New York is for me is that riding around Manhattan, even Brooklyn, like they are just changing the rules to include construction workers and manufacturing upstate to be included. Like soon, they're supposed to like say that they can go back to work safely, like with like a staggered approach. But the whole time in New York, there's like huge buildings being built, and I'm not talking about like MTA and like transportation, that kind of stuff. I think this is the perfect time for that stuff to be done because no one's riding the trains. There's less cars on the roads. Like that kind of stuff, I think is great. But privately owned fucking skyscrapers and shit going up in Manhattan, there's still people working there. It's fucking crazy. It's like why are they going to work? Like gladly. It's cool that they get to work. Like those people are bringing in money. I don't want to take away from that. I just think it's interesting. Like there's got to be some kind of weird political money thing going on. Why they can still be working. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely what's happening.
The small business over here has to close.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah, there's politics at play here with a lot of these things, and that's typical of pandemics. Even on my bike ride in, I probably see like 6 different condos going up, being built. Yeah, it seems kind of wild. Like definitely like city infrastructure should be taking advantage of like the lack of people. Yeah, fix all the shit now. I think what it is. Sorry, I think what it is, man, is it's hard for us to relate, but I feel like I've been close enough, on working on construction sites before. There are people out there that just can't afford to not work.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and their employer won't lay them off, and they don't know the system of how to collect or defend their own rights, and they just, I don't know, they're kind of like locked in. It's rather unfortunate. And these are the people like, you know, kind of invisible for the most part, that are also having their lives completely changed during
Yeah.
these times. And you know, and I guess like getting out the little that I do, I do see these people, and it's informing. I wish I could help, you know. But yeah, there you know, people who still have to commute to work every day, some weird job way across the boroughs, you know, and exposing themselves to the, you know, risk of getting sick, but then the alternative of not working and not being able to feed their family is, you know, that's worse. So it's like they just do it. It's kind of wild, you know. And I think about those things. I think about those people in those situations, and that will put a fire up on my ass. Like, shit, I can't. I'm sitting here complaining about like bananas versus apples or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like in my privileged ass world, like, nah,
Exactly.
man, get to work. Yeah. So it's interesting. There's a lot of stories to be told once we resurface.
It's complicated, just like Graham said. It is super complicated. And one thing that is starting to show up a little bit that I'm not a huge fan of is like people publicly like almost shaming other people for not doing, you know, like, oh, you're not doing this. Oh, and
yeah,
I was riding in the park and this lady, so there were four of us, there might have been five of us, all separate. We didn't do a planned like group ride or anything. We just were in the park, and we're riding on trails and we're keeping our distance. And at the end of like a trail, we're, you know, gaggled up, away from each other. This lady says out loud, I wish, and she's like an older white lady, I wish I had a gun right now.
Oh, wow.
Those stupid motherfuckers. And like yelling about us because we were riding our bikes. And we're riding like, you know, we all have our things.
Yeah.
And we're like away from each other.
You're not like coughing on her.
Meanwhile, she doesn't have a thing on, and she's walking her dog with her husband, and her husband's like kind of like shushing her, and she's like going crazy. And then they stop in the corner, and my friend like repeated like, oh, you wish you had a gun, huh? And then she's like you can see her arms flipping up like, oh, these guys are fucking idiots, I would kill them.
Oh, man, that's so wild.
What is going on? Like, you're so far over on one side, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, she's out of touch. You know, I mean, I tend to feel sorry for, you know, people who react those ways. I mean, definitely comes from a weird place for her to make that kind of remark. I can only imagine what life she's living. Yeah, man, there is definitely, I think, you know, we talked about this. I talked about something with someone the other day, that people are real quick to kind of out one another. I think it's just kind of like part of the culture through the internet, Instagram, whatnot.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's easy to just, you know, like peanut gallery, be in the back and just like hate on shit. Like, unless you in the arena, homie, like I kind of could care less of your opinion. But, you know, I don't know. Sometimes it bites you in the butt, or, you know, it hurts a little. You know, I don't know.
I just don't like the public part about it. It's just like, yo, there's tasteful ways to do it without
like,
being
call
like,
me like,
like, you know who I am, then like, you don't need to be like, boom, on the internet or something, you know. There's
because that's not where this conversation should happen.
Exactly.
Like, call me up and let's go have some coffee and talk about it. Yeah, for sure.
FaceTime me, motherfucker.
meet me by the corner.
Yeah, just FaceTime me and tell me, you know, don't I don't know.
No, I respect that, and that's the way it should. You know, we talk about going back to basics. Let's really go back to basics.
Yeah, this whole like internet calling people out is not. It's unproductive.
It's a terrible thing. And honestly, it often makes the person who's calling out make them look bad. I don't think they see it that way. You know, they're just like lashing out some reaction, just like, like they're just like overly critical about some shit. You know, I don't know. Shit is crazy. Shit is complicated. People are getting a little fatigued and restless with all what the fuck is going on. I'll tell you what, like, stop reading the news. It'll improve your life tenfold. Trust me, if we're all going to die, you're going to find out. Other than that, just kind of, you know, keep your head down, carry on. But yeah, I don't know. I think we need to be building each other up. What's up?
Alex has the key word there, cancel culture. I was trying to get away this whole conversation without saying it, but yeah, that's culture. Where it comes from for sure.
Oh, yeah. You know about so-and-so? Yeah, he's canceled. Yep.
There's places for it. I mean, when it's like gnarly, for sure. Like, you know, I don't know. Whatever.
It's tough. It's the internet. Now it's kind of like everybody. It's the beauty or the pro and the con of the internet. You know, it's like an even playing field. Everybody can have a say in stuff, but it's like going to the party and you're trying to have like a conversation and everyone's talking at once. And it's just like, sometimes it's just too much. And, you know, I normally wouldn't hang out with that person in real life. Why am I going to, like, you know, respect their ill comments? You know, it's just, there's just a lot of noise, you know, and it's wild because you want me as my name is my business, my persona. I have to be public, you know?
Yeah.
And I have to, and like, kind of like you, like, I don't exactly know all, like, the result of something I'm going to start today in 6 months. I don't know if it's going to even be cool, you know, but I'm already talking about it and telling people. It's really putting yourself out there and making yourself, like, vulnerable, and for, you know, folks to not respect that, like, it can be hard because it's like, I thought we were all trying to, like, you know, hang out, you know, be cool, what's up, you know, like, so I don't know, but that's just what it is, man. No matter what you're gonna do, people, like, I think I told you over the phone, like, people who can build, people who can't criticize. It was from some movie.
No, that was great.
Like, you know, no matter what you do, even if you're, like, giving food out to the homeless people, someone out there is gonna, like, have 2 cents, you know. So you just kind of have to, like, tune out the noise. Don't let the world bring you down. Yada. Do your thing.
I'm writing that down. People who can build, people who can't criticize.
Yeah. Name that movie. I'll give $5 to the first answer.
Damn, Eric's gonna super chat you $5.
I think I got $5. Yeah,
it's worth it. Throw a little paper, a $5 airplane at you.
Yeah. Just, which way do you live? Okay.
It's coming your way. Yeah. Well, I think we didn't talk. I'd like to change gears before we wrap up here. I don't know. Did you mention what you got going on? You did a little bit.
I did, but I didn't get specific details as far as an actual plug.
Because you have a show coming up. Why don't you tell us?
I do. And so, which is kind of like another story. I'll keep it brief. It's kind of redundant. Well, in any case, I have a show. So, like, here's what's going on as far as artists. Like, galleries are closing. Like, legit are closing up shop and calling it a day. They're not temporarily closing, as some of them are. Some of them that were, you know, sitting a little bit more cush, or maybe have some kind of rent situation figured out, like they own the building or they have another business that brings in income. If they were not one of those fortunate few, they are, they're also wondering what the fuck they're going to do right now. And yes, you can adapt. And I've been, like, you know, trying to speak on, or, you know, spearhead the, like, how you can adapt to change and, you know, reposition yourself. Like, people need to get more comfortable with presenting their work virtually and doing, like, you know, virtual digital experiences, whether it's like, you know, this live YouTube, Google Hangout, Zoom and IG, streaming, podcasts, you name it. Like, those things got to be there's got to be more of that, and the quality of how, you know, the visuals, the audio, you know, how you build out your project virtually for people to access it from afar like that. There needs to be more effort, I feel, in that. And you know, I'm starting to see it, but I've yet to really see it. And I think folks are hesitant because they think like, oh, we're going to be out of this like real soon. Why like rethink the wheel, or, you know, almost add more work and more things they got to learn to do this. And it's tough, man, because I'm preparing for a show right now, and I'm on the stance that we may not have the show like a traditional show. Like it's scheduled for August, but I'm kind of in this in my head till 2021, or I don't know. Fuck, this is forever, whatever. But it won't. But like, you know, I'm like trying to work with the gallery, and I'm not, you know, it's all been positive, like negotiation rigmarole, but it's just like, I think we need to be real that we can't expect like the huge turnout. We can't expect to even have the public attendance at all. Like we can't expect to do all these things that we had talked about pre-COVID, and just pretend business as usual, you know, and me being, my part of the investment has begun. I've already dropped close to $5,000 in supplies, not including the studio rent to survive long enough to make the work. Like it gets real, it gets scary, you know, shit's risky, and I'm adding risk on top of risk, but you know, nothing new for a guy like me. But it is wild to be kind of planning ahead for a show that you don't know if it's going to quite happen. And the point of all of this is I can't even tell you when it's going to be, other than like a range, because we're still working with like the hour by hour updates on restrictions being lifted, you know, per county, per state. It's, you know, and
Can you
now
talk about where
hard stop. Yeah. And so on to the details. The show is called Chromotherapy, and coincidentally, and I think more relevant than ever, I've taken up interest in art as therapy, color as therapy, how it's been sort of cathartic and self-therapeutic for me, how it's helped me, like how can I possibly share that and have it help others. And now with all the things going on, it just seems incredibly relevant. So the show is called Chromotherapy. It's taking place at Heron Arts, Heron like the bird, in San Francisco, California.
In San Francisco, California.
And,
sorry, you broke
right now. The
bit.
date is okay. Yeah, Heron Arts, San Francisco, California, August 8th. To be determined, to be confirmed. With you know, there will be some kind of opening, and followed by a online release, followed by a public viewing. How we plan on doing that, we're still figuring that out. I plan to fly to San Francisco to do a little on-site installation. I'm making about around 9 paintings, light paintings, like the whole work with the texture and the neon light, but like a lot larger. And I'm doing a piece that is basically made up of multiple smaller pieces, each separate, but then fastened together, which I thought kind of reminded me of what living like in an apartment building in New York is. Like we're all separate, but togetherly separate. Yeah, I don't know what other surprises, but that's the details. I tend to, you know, ramble, but Chromotherapy, yeah, it's one word. Not the product. I don't know if you Google it, it's really weird, but there's like ancient Greek kind of like philosophy behind just color having a influence on people's moods. Yep. You know, like on a bare bones level, how red is an energizing color or how blue is a soothing color. So it's just kind of like pushing that, but not just with paint, but with light. And because paint and light are two different kinds of color, and then having those two interact with one another. So I'm really trying to, I don't know, call it special effects. I'm like really trying to push the special effects with this one, and kind of taking the time, like, you know, like if you're gonna be making something, you better fucking make it tight. Like I feel just really compelled and pushed to just like try a lot of new things right now, and I feel like a lot of people have been supportive and responding. So I think it's gonna be pretty incredible. You know, if I can physically be there, I don't know, but I'm gonna make the work, and the work will get there, and we'll be sure to take plenty of photos. So that's what's up.
If we're allowed to travel at that time, I'll try and we're allowed to like be around, I'll try to stream it for everybody.
Oh yeah. And that's, I think, yeah, well, let's talk about
At the very minimum, I could do it from a phone, or you can do it from a phone with the gimbal, so it's nice and smooth. But
yeah,
we can figure it out. I know they have Wi-Fi. It's that same spot in the alleyways over there, right? Off of 8th and Harrison.
Yeah. I had plans to like, you know, the spray effect with the color spill down. Yep. I wanted to like spray that whole alleyway as you lead up to the show. Shit, I'm giving away surprises. I don't know, but I want to like trick out the whole spot to make it feel like you're walking through like color. You know?
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah.
It's hard. I want to tell you what I'm doing, but you gotta wait.
Gotta wait. Gotta watch the stream.
I also got to figure out what I can and can't do. But don't tell me what I can't do.
Yeah, tell me what I can.
Tell me what I can, and then I'll make do with that.
Cool.
Oh, hey, Jamie Bodman, congrats on your child, yo. Like, especially during these times, that's wild. So I'm glad everything is safe and well.
No help, no contact. Crazy.
And thank you for your comment. Awesome. Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
also,
definitely a good time
Alex,
to be always.
Thank you for the coffee, Alex.
Oh, Alex got us or you coffee? Wait,
I'll
where's
get
my coffee
with it?
I got this free New York tap water.
Delicious. Everyone's feeling the morning routine because we just kind of been rambling on. It's cool. Also, Ramen Ryder says that he's got a friend developing a new platform for artists to sell advertising.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
For sale and advertising, I see. Sorry.
Reach out, Ramen. Let me know what's up. I'm open to anything right now.
Where are we? I smell bacon, egg, and cheese. There's a bodega that's like right under my window, kind of right over this way. And when they start cooking bacon, egg, and cheeses, I can smell them. It drives me crazy.
Oh my God!
It just lurks into the window. It's terrible.
I don't get any smells other than there's like a machine fabrication below me, and it's normally like 7 dudes, but now it's down to 1. And they're usually just like patinaing copper or grinding sheet metal. It's a lot of weird smells.
Jacques has a question. Also, it's more about the drum. I asked this earlier. I got lost. Can you talk about the drumming soundtrack? Was that done after a fact? Was it connected to or inspired by the video footage, or just done randomly? I think we talked about doing. Didn't we talk about doing it to your own drum?
Yeah, we
even filmed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like that was about as far as we went. We're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, I got you drumming and then we played that, because there was an issue with music licensing.
There always is a music with issue.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a creative solution, but I still didn't quite know what we were doing. I was just kind of rolling with it. I'm like, yeah, let's just meet at the studio before we head out.
Was it before or after?
We did it before. I tapped around on the drum, and then we went out on the ride after. So like that whole day, that the drumming, the bike, not to toot our horns, but that was all just like one moment. Like not even the whole day, just like, let's just do this, and then we did it, and then Terry does his like magic. So, but yeah, the drum is called a djembe. It was carved by a wonderful person in West Africa, Ghana, to be specific. I am a drummer. I've been playing like a straight up drum kit. I got into that around 20, and somebody taught me a basic beat. I kind of went from there. I've always been noodling with percussions. I guess percussions actually came first, messing around with the congas. But the djembe kind of made sense because it's one drum and you can travel with it. And I was that hippie kid that would fucking drum for his friends at the beach, or like I actually, the highest of highs of this particular chapter of my life, I was even hired or invited to play drums along with other people playing drums, like at clubs, like events, like house clubs in San Francisco.
Yeah, I remember
way
you guys.
before. Yeah, before I even moved there. I got into. I would do drum circle.
What the hell are
I don't
these
know.
drums here?
It's a slippery slope. Like I've actually gone to those Golden Gate drum circles, and I'm just like, wait a minute, is anybody sober? It's fun like to get high, but man, folks go like get high on another level out there, and it's like you get these moments wherever people kind of like lock into a groove or hit that pocket, music talk, but like, I don't know, there was a lot of like wishy-washy.
Do you have the drum with you?
Yeah, man.
I think everyone wanted to. There's a few people who was like, "Yo, can we get Eric to get in here?"
All right.
He's already got it set up. Look, the chair's there.
It's already here. Because I play.
No way.
It's not for the film. No, but typically this is kind of where I sit, and like usually around around 7 p.m. when people are cheering for healthcare workers, essentials. I usually participate with like a drumming effort, and I can hear someone's got a cowbell across the street, and that's always fun. But yeah, I don't really have neighbors, or I do, but they don't mind. So sometimes I'm just like animal, like ripping away, and then other times I'm just like like finger tapping. But more often, it's. Can you still see me?
Yep.
I like to do it with the lights off. It's sort of my thing. It's a reset. Like instead of getting on the bike and going for a ride, sometimes I don't have the time, or the weather, or it's dark, or whatever. I'm just, to switch up my headspace. I find taking to the drum, pretty beneficial as far as like working out thoughts or a release of energy.
Yeah.
So
before you start, I got to do something.
Okay. What's really rad is when I play in the. Well,
I got to light an incense before you hit these drums, dude.
Okay. How does it look? How does the angle look? Oh, that looks pretty cool.
We gotta light an incense before Eric starts this. Got to get the smells right.
It's not gonna be that crazy. You're building it up. I'm just gonna start. So, there's with the djembe, like this is funny. Like I'm not the one to talk, but like there's a bass. It's like you can do open or closed hand, or even your fist, which is the center of the drum. And then there's like a middle hit where you hit like just your fingers on the side, kind of like a slappy thing. And then there's a full like rim shot, which is kind of like a really high. And you can even pressure with one hand to manipulate the sound that's happening with the other hand.
His speaker's not very good at picking up the drum sounds. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Oh, there we go. He's done.
How loud were we?
You were good. It's just like the microphone can't handle the
it's probably like a wall of
the frequency.
sound.
Yeah, it's just like popping the mic a little bit.
I'll do something quieter.
There we go. I can also turn it down.
pretty much it.
Sorry, everybody,
no-
about the clipping. He doesn't have. All he has is his phone recording this, or it's
all I have
actually
is these, like,
it's his
ear
head.
pods.
It's his ear pods that are doing it. So he doesn't have the professional streaming equipment at his studio.
We'll work on it.
We'll work
Yeah,
on it. Well, I'll send over a pigeon, a carrier pigeon with some mics and stuff for him.
But I guess going back to it, it's it's just another way to like get some to kind of speak. Like, music is incredible. Like, I wish I knew more instruments, and I mean, I could. There's only so much time, but I like the whole, like, that I'm not a professional drummer and I'm not trying to do it professionally. That there's this sort of, like, I can just do this and I can have fun and it doesn't matter, and that's where it ends, Yeah. Because it's like so much pressure to, like, okay, Erik, the artist, always be creative. Everything you make has to be amazing. Like, the pressure is, like, tiring. It's like, okay, people, like, let's be real. Like, I'm also human. I'm not perfect, and I like to have fun, So that's all. I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm just like,
we're just going, dude.
Getting flustered. Yeah. Your screen has been black for a while, FYI. I am, like, literally talking to a phone.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm making it work.
I can see you, and they can see. They can see.
I got the
You got the laptop?
YouTube going.
Oh, look at that! There he is. You like that 30-second delay?
Yeah, meta.
I can hear it. I hear the audio's up on there.
No, it's not.
I did.
Oh, there it is.
It totally was. Ooh, Masson should sample Erik playing the. Okay, that's a good one. I like that.
That's what's up, dude. Yeah, Masson, I can do some gangsta beats.
Doesn't even have to be. You do.
I could slow it down.
You do your thing, and you let Masson do his thing.
And let him just tweak it.
Yeah.
And flip it. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I got the incense going, so I got the vibes. Your shit's clipping. That's okay.
What is clipping? It maxes out and it just can't handle it. Yeah, it's for your own safety.
It just sounds like a crackle, pop, snap, and you can't. Yeah, you miss it.
Oh, that's horrible. I apologize. It does usually sound pretty sexy in person. It's a resonating sound. That's like the whole thing. It's like a tribal kind of beat. And again, I'm not one to talk, but for some reason, I really like playing that thing.
So I got the quote: people who can build, and people who can't criticize. I think we're going to end it on that. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about before we go. You're taking us into another room?
No, I just need to sit down.
Yeah.
I have a stand-up desk, and this is where I sit. So I think it's good that we close on me sitting.
Nice. You thought this out, folks. Maybe we should stop with me standing. Start with me standing. Hold on. Is that better? Let me see. There we go. Hey. Yeah.
I'll be pretending to drink my imaginary coffee. Thank you for all your support.
Coffee support, dude. Zoom in on
no, but really though,
because it's important. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. For the morning routine, number 39.
Wow, congrats. That's how old I am. Boom. Now y'all know my age.
My man's he's a young pup.
Yep, young buck in it.
What do you want to end this on?
On a light note, I think on an upswing. No, I mean, it's just good to be able to, although it's hard to have the back and forth, of what it would be if we were all in the same room, but it's still really rad to be able to connect to people, to an audience, or even if it's just like, I know it's just been like us talking and you guys mostly listening, but it's still like, I can see your comments, the feedback, the whole bit. It's just good, I think, to support people right now that are trying to do stuff. It's hard for anyone to do anything right now. We're all equal in that. So it's I'm happy to see Terry doing what he's doing. I'm happy to been available to do this for everybody, and I'm just happy to be happy. There's a lot of things out of control, but you have one thing you do have control is your happiness. So that wasn't what I was trying to say, but I'll say it. And then it's just I'm glad we could get here, be together virtually. Albeit virtually, we are here gathered today, so that's rad. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. Thanks for your time. Thanks for showing us around and giving us the updates. Thanks for what else can I say? Thank you for helping with the merch, all the recent new designs. Eric helped out a lot on that stuff, so that's cool. We got the little neck gaiters in there. Buy yourself some leggings.
While you're at it.
And thanks for helping with that stuff. Hopefully we can see each other in person. If we do, maybe it'll be on the block 6 feet away with some face masks and stuff. But how long are you going to be in the studio today? You're going to be there for a while?
I plan to paint today.
Cool.
I do have a call at 3. Yep. This might be it. This might be most of my day talking. But we'll see. Sun goes down, and then I usually call it quits because then the zombies come out.
It's true. That's kind of what I try to do. But dude, thank you to everyone out there tuning in, and Eric, thanks to you. I'm gonna let you go, and I'll catch you in the neighborhood. So,
all right, thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
See you, Eric. Peace.
I'll see ya. That's where I walk away.
All right, that was Erik Otto. Erik was kind enough to have us in the show kind enough to be in the show for a while. We went a little long on this. Hopefully you guys didn't mind. Talked about Erik, how he got into cycling, what he's been up to with his work during everything that's going on, and the show that's coming up. We also rambled on about cooking and other things. So appreciate you guys dropping in and hanging out with us for that the whole time. Shout out to everyone who's a channel member and who's been supporting over the last couple of weeks and has been around. And we will be at you tomorrow. Tomorrow? No, nothing tomorrow. New schedule. Sunday morning at 11:45 a.m. Eastern time. We got the new video. Maybe I should pop it up on screen during this so you guys can see. We got the new video. I think it's called Drafting E-Bikes. And where is it? I'll pull it up so we can see. Drafting E-Bikes. Is it here? Yeah, there it is. Yep. We got Drafting E-Bikes happening Sunday. So make sure to be there for the premiere 46 hours from now. Anyways, I will be there in the chat. And until then, have a good weekend. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you then. Peace.